Get more. Get more. All right, y'all. We get praise, esteem, and honor to Abba and Shamayim in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. Let's pick this up in John chapter 5, verse 39. Search the scripture. In them you think you have eternal life, and they are they which testify of me. And you will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that you have not the love of Elohim in you. I come in my Abba's name, and you receive me not. If another shall come in his own name, him you will receive. How can you believe which receive honor one from another, and not the honor that comes from Elohim only? Do not think that I will accuse you to Abba. There is one that accused you, even Moses, in whom you trust. Had you believed Moses, you would have believed me, for he wrote of me. But if you believe not his writings, how should you believe my words? All esteem and praise to Abba and Shamayim in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. Shalom, Brother Herman, man. Isaiah 8:16, bind up the testimony, seal the law among my disciples, and I will wait upon Yahuwah that hide his face from the house of Jacob. I will look for him. Behold, I and the children whom Yahuwah hath given me are for signs and for wonders and Yasharal from Yahuwah of hosts, which dwell in Mount Zion. And they shall say unto you, seek unto them that have familiar spirits and unto wizards that peep and mutter. Shall not a people seek unto their Elohim, for the living to the dead, to the law and to the testimony. If they speak not according to this word, it's because there is no light in them. Let's hit this. Give me Revelation 19:7, man. Tell me what that's saying. Let's get this show on the road, man. Let's get it popping, man. You know, we dealing, focusing on the bind up the testimony side of things first.
Let us be glad and rejoice and give honor to him, for the marriage of the Lamb is come, and his wife hath made herself ready.
Made her ready.
And to her was granted that she should be arrayed in fine linen.
Fine what?
White. Fine linen.
Clean and what?
Clean and white.
Which is?
The fine linen is the righteousness of saints. He saith unto me, right, Baruch to they which are called.
Pause. He said it's the righteousness of the saints. Let's get off, man. Let's bring back something that we ain't talked about in a while. But y'all know it. Ecclesiastes 9 and what? 6. Tell me what 9 and 6 say, man. Shalom, Mika.
Also their love and their hatred and their
envy.
Okay,
no. Make that sad. But hold on. I want you to go back some. I want you to go back to tell them what testimony is again, man, and bind. If y'all remember what bind is, because we talked about it a good little bit on Wednesday.
That's sarar, to bind.
This is distress. This is to vex. This is trouble. Stop.
Cut it out.
Testimony is teudah, testimony, attestation, a confirmation.
Comfort what?
A confirmation.
Comfort what?
Confirmation.
What we just started off, search the scriptures. For in them you think you have eternal life, and they what? That means they confirmation. What else is the definition?
Attestation.
An attestation. If you don't know what an attestation is, let me share it with you. Hold on. Ain't nobody mama. You ain't birth no babies. You a baby. You gonna try to be somebody mama and I gotta change your diaper. What kind of nonsense is this? Now, attest is to provide or serve as clear evidence. That's attest. Attestation again is evidence or proof of something. Declaration that something exists or is the case. The action of being a witness to formally certifying something. Shalom, Mother Shalom. Now notice what he said, right? What I got to read.
That was Isaiah.
I had to read Ecclesiastes 9 before we go to Ecclesiastes 9, since he's talking about certification or certifying of evidence. Go on and get me John chapter 5, man, verse 30, and then John chapter 10, verse 34. It's some things we done discussed, but we're looking at it from a different standpoint at this present time. Come on with it, man.
I can of my own self do nothing. As I hear, I judge, and my judgment is just, because I seek not my own will, but the will of the Abba which have sent me. If I bear witness,
Shalom, Brother Robert.
if I bear witness of myself, my witness is not true.
It ain't true.
There's another that bear witness of me, and I know that the witness which he witnessed.
Notice
is
the action
true.
of being a witness to formally certifying something that goes back to the conversation we were having about John. Go ahead.
You sent unto John, and he bear witness unto the truth. But I received not testimony from man, but these things I
Peace, Brother
say,
Omar.
that you might be saved.
Mm-hmm.
He was a burning and a shining light, and you were willing for a season to rejoice in his light.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a greater witness than of John, for
Mhm.
the works which the Abba have given me to finish.
The works that the what? The what?
the Abba have given me.
No,
to
they say
finish.
the what? The
The
works. This is the evidence of proof of something. What do those works do?
Bear witness of me that the Abba have sent me.
So that's the declaration that something exists or is the case in formally certifying something, would it not? One more verse, please.
And the Abba himself, which have sent me, have borne witness of me. You have neither heard his voice at any time,
Nor seen his shape. What else?
and you have not his word abiding in you.
You don't have that word in
For
you.
whom he hath sent, him you believe not.
Search
The scriptures,
for in
you
them,
think you have eternal life,
and they are they.
which testify of me.
Now let's go to John 10 and 30. I said 34, but I'll read 30. And I'm going to throw something in there just because. Shalom, Mama Steph. Just because.
I and Abba are one. Then the Yahudim took up stones again to stone him. Yahushua answered, Many good works have I showed you from my Abba. For which of those works do you stone me? Yahudim answered, saying, For a good work we stone you not.
But for,
Blasphemy,
because you
being a man,
maketh yourself.
Elohim.
Pause. Where did that come from? Where does that come from? What prophet does that come from? I need to make sure that you remember. Who can tell me what prophet that come from? Shalom, Brother Mark.
It's in Isaiah.
It is not. It is not in the book of Isaiah. Who can tell me where this comes from? Oh, we got crickets, silence, and niggas everywhere. Well, I don't know if niggas everywhere, but Shalom, Misha. While y'all pondering on that, let me tell you about this old wicked nigga I talked to last night. I'm talking about an old wicked nigga. Read that verse again for me, sir. There it is, Stanley. Well, Stanley, he can see the answer now, but go ahead. Read that verse.
It says, that's verse 33. The Yahudim answered, saying, For a good work we stone you not,
But for
blasphemy,
because you being
a man,
maketh yourself.
Elohim.
Yeah, where does that come from? What prophet speaks of this situation? But Stanley has already provided y'all with the answer to that question. But before we go look at this, here, let me tell you about this wicked nigga, man, named George. You know what I'm talking about? He fashions himself as some type of bishop, but that nigga name is George. You know what I'm talking about? And this wicked bastard had the unmitigated gall to say that if you're over 50 years old, that you can be involved with a woman and you don't have to marry her. Because marriage is for having children. Nowhere is that in the text. Not at any time does the word say anything about being married was for the purpose of having children. People like to scream when he told Adam and Eve, be fruitful and multiply. Never in the word did it say that. You having children or not having children is not necessarily evidence that Yahuwah is with you or against you. You know what I'm talking about? See, that's wicked niggas talk. That's wicked nigga talk all the way around the board. You understand? That's why you say, man, look at outward appearance. Yahuwah look on the heart. You'll look at somebody's life and try to make a determination if God with them or not. When the book say, blessed, Shalom, Jay. When the book say, blessed is the man, children are the heritage of Yahuwah. Blessed is the man who have a quiver full of them. That doesn't, and remember when you talk about heritage, that means that's an inheritance. He say, blessed if you have a quiver full of them. But you could also be blessed if you take the chastisement of Yahuwah. Like having a bunch of children does not, how many, it's atheists that got a bunch of kids, man. I mean, at the end of the day, having raw intercourse, usually the end result of that is children. You know what I'm talking about? That's usually what is going to happen. Because unless you had your tubes tied, a vasectomy, a prophylactic, or you backing out the driveway, she's probably going to get pregnant because most dudes are not adept enough to know that a woman only has a small window each month to get pregnant. You know what I'm talking about? And it's amazing how many grown people don't know that. I would wager most women would know that. That would be highly unfortunate as a woman if you didn't know that. You know what I'm talking about? The woman only has a small window. What is it, about 5 days a month, boo? Or is it a little bit more than that? A couple more days than that. Yeah. How many days out the month you got that window to get pregnant? How many days? Yeah, that's what, about 5 days. Yeah, and I know it's and indeed, Mika, I know it varies from woman to woman, but in general, about 5 to 7 days out the month, she can get pregnant. You know what I'm saying? It's usually, whenever that ovulation cycle is, that's when she's the most fertile. When she ain't ovulating, she can still get pregnant, but the percentages is lower. The percentages are drastically lower. You know what I'm talking about? But nevertheless. Yeah, a lot of brothers still say that it's against the law to not have children. Nowhere in this man say, I command thou to have children. He didn't command anybody to be married. Like, you don't have to be married. Since you said that, I'm going to show you how wicked these niggas is. Go to Judges 11, right? But what the dude saying he's a bishop, right? Hold on, before you get to Judges 11, to get to his point. I asked the man, I say, cut all the semantics. Is you getting them yams or not? You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to hear all this other stuff. Are you being intimate with this woman or not? And he didn't read them up. I ain't gotta explain nothing to y'all. That's none of your business. 1 Timothy 3:1. Let's see if it's our business. See, that's why I be telling y'all, you have to know what the words say. So when people say certain stuff, you already know, okay, I know God ain't with him. Because he say he's the bishop. A bishop with no members. How you a bishop with no congregation? First Timothy 3:1. Let's see what that says.
Say this a true saying: if a man desire the office of a bishop, he desire a good work. A bishop then must be blameless, the husband of one wife.
He must be what?
Blameless.
He must be what?
Blameless.
Tell him what blameless means, just in case nobody don't know. Maybe I'm ignorant. Maybe I got temporary amnesia.
Nepalimptos, that is not apprehended, that cannot be laid hold of, that cannot be reprehended, not open to censure, irreproachable.
Irreproachable, not open to censure. If you don't know what censure means, let me tell you. You ever heard that word before, Sid? Only white people use that word on the job in the military. Shalom 10K, or white people used to use it in school. That is express severe disapproval of someone or something, especially in a formal statement, the expression of formal disapproval. That means that if you are a bishop, no one should be able to disapprove of your conduct. I ain't talking about what you don't like because you don't like it. I'm talking about, remember what we read, you got to be void of offense between God and man. See, some people be offended and you ain't did nothing. You know what I'm talking about? Because we just been experiencing that for the last couple of days. Your feelings being hurt or you not liking somebody, that's not rebukable. You just don't like it. It has to go against what this man said. Do you know what I'm talking about? And you have to look at that. A lot of these people, as we talked about a couple weeks, a lot of people, they're scandal mongers. You know what I'm talking about? So I was telling somebody today, right? See, a lot of people feel like it's too many people who deal with their word, man, that they're not used to people telling them about themselves. You know what I'm saying? So they think that the way that they behave is acceptable. You know what I'm saying? Then you got some people, you can tell them about themselves, and they still gonna think the way that they behave is acceptable because that's just what they want to do. We watched several men and women, for this matter, do this in the last 48 hours. You know what I'm talking about? So one thing is for certain, two things for sure. Some people just gonna do what they want to do. And they're gonna justify themselves in their own mind. There's a way that seem right unto a man, and the ways thereof are the end of death. That's what it say. It can seem right to you. That don't mean it's right with God. And what a lot of individuals like to do, especially this nigga who we referring to, George of the Jungle, he gonna make what he want to do right because he has to justify himself, and he gonna go to hell. Because you can't be laying up, mashing on no woman, man, and you ain't got no covenant with that woman, man, and think you right before God. You can't do that. You can't do that. And I told this nigga, I said, I'm not even telling you you got to get a marriage license. I'm not even finna argue that point with you. You don't have any covenant whatsoever. And that's not how Yahuwah operates. Yahuwah is the Elohim of covenant. Do we need to read it? Let's read it. Say a sucker nigga got something to say. 2 witnesses style. You dig? Let's hit Ezekiel 16:8 and you know Malachi 2:14 for the wicked niggas in the back.
He said, now when I passed by you and looked upon you, behold, your time was the time of love, and I spread my skirt over you and covered your nakedness.
What else?
Yea, I swear unto you and entered into a covenant with you.
I entered into a what with you?
A covenant with
and you became what?
Mine.
You became his wife. That's what he said, right? Mm-hmm. Now Malachi 2:14 for the wicked nigga in the back.
Yet you say, wherefore? Because Yahuwah have been witness between you and the wife of your youth, against whom you have dealt treacherously. Yet she is your companion and the wife of your covenant.
The wife of your who?
Your covenant.
Your wife of your who?
Your covenant.
Now how these niggas telling you you can be married, you ain't got no covenant. You a lying bastard. You a lying bastard. You know what I'm talking about? And I don't give a damn what none of you niggas say. If your God made a covenant with you and left it in the Ark of the Covenant as proof of him being married to you, and you read in Malachi that there's a covenant, hey man, ain't nobody trying to hear all that, bro. That man, we read it last Wednesday right out the mouth of how many witnesses, sir? The matter is what? That man, we don't want to talk. We don't want to talk. You know what I'm saying? That we not rocking with that. We not going for that. Peace, Brother Joseph. You got to have 2 to 3 witnesses to back up what you saying. You ain't got 2 to 3 witnesses to prove you ain't got to have no covenant for that woman to be your wife, man. And again, I'm not even finna go back and forth with you about no marriage license, blood. I don't have the energy, time, or desire. But boy, you gotta have something, cuz. You gotta have something. Because if that's the case, I told you we had a conversation with a dude. Dude was like, you can't tell people they having sex with somebody to be married. Nigga, what? But let's see what the law say. Exodus 22:16. This is why I be on y'all head about, man, you need to know what is written in the word so nigga can't tell you anything. Nigga tell you anything. But do it line up with what the man said, what he told Moses when he was up there on the getting him tied. What he told him? You remember what he told him?
Come on, to do it according.
He said, make it according to the pattern I showed you in the mount. It's got to be according to the judgment that's been laid. That's it. Nigga can make their mouth fry fish. See, we not talking about how a lot of brews be like, book, chapter, and verse. That ain't what we talking about. Do this line up with the will that this man left behind? He left behind a witness for a reason. We talking about bind up the testimony. So there's an attestation and a confirmation of a prophetic word as it pertains to the Son of God and the perfect will of the everlasting Abba. So that means you need to know that does this line up with the perfect will that this man has already shown. If it don't line up, then man, you reject that. You reject that. Remember, he said we compare spiritual things with spiritual. You compare the word with the word, man. Go ahead, man.
And if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed and lie with her, he shall surely endow her to be
If
his wife.
you lie with a woman who is not promised to another man, he said you'll do what?
Endow her to be his wife.
You'll do what?
Endow her to be his wife.
What did the next thing he say?
If her father utterly refuse to give her unto him, he shall pay money according to the dowry of virgins.
So pause. Now we know that most of y'all ain't no virgin. You know what I'm talking about? And most of y'all don't live with your daddy. So we know full well that if a man lay with you and you not promised to nobody else, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no dowry of virgins to be paid. So what is the righteous manner of how you handle this? Shalom, Brother Ernest. How do you handle this type of situation? If you having sex with that woman and y'all not betrothed, because remember, betrothal in that time means you are married. This ain't no, this is my fiance. This is not my boyfriend. That's not how this works. That's your husband. When you have sex, that sealed the deal because the covenant was already entered into. See, it's not nobody getting down on one knee and giving you a ring. That's not what these people did. These people entered into a covenantal agreement with one another before having intercourse. They agreed, this is what we're going to do. Once they had sex, it's complete because the covenant is already in place. They don't put the covenant in place right before you get the yams. The covenant's already been in place. So if this is not the case, obviously, because we live in quote unquote 2025, this is not the way that people live in. How do you handle that? If you're having sex with that woman, bro, if you know you're not going to marry that woman, leave that woman alone. That's the godly recourse in that type of situation. I've said it before, and I'm saying it again. If you want to still deal with that woman, then you need to marry that woman. You cannot be around here jumping up and down on top of this woman and think you justified before God. Let me show you another situation for this other wicked nigga in the back. Genesis 34:1.
And Dinah, the daughter of Leah, which she bare unto Jacob, went out to see the daughters of the land. And when Shechem, the son of Hamor, the Hivite, prince of the country, saw her, he took her and lay with her. And
he did what?
Her. He took her and lay with her and defiled her.
He did what with her?
Defiled her.
He did what with her?
Defiled her.
Tell him what defile mean, man.
That's anah, to be occupied, to be busied with, to afflict, oppress, humble.
He humbled this woman. Continue. And his soul
clave unto Dinah, the daughter of Jacob, and he loved the damsel.
And he did what?
Spake kindly unto the damsel.
He did what to the damsel?
Spake kindly unto
the damsel. He did
what
to her?
Spake kindly.
Shalom, Sister Regina. Shalom, Brother Shaul. You heard what he did? You know what kindly is? He spoke to her lip. He spoke to her heart. Continue.
And Shechem spake unto his father Hamor, saying, Get me this damsel to wife.
Jacob heard
that he had defiled Dinah's daughter. Now his sons were with his cattle in the field, and Jacob held his shalom until they were come.
And Hamor,
the father of Shechem, went out unto Jacob to commune with him. The sons of Jacob came out of the field when they heard.
And the men were what?
Grieved.
And they were what?
Very wrong.
They pissed off about that. Why?
Because he had wrought folly in Yashurun.
This foolishness, you done laid with my sister, man. What you got going on, blood? Listen what he say.
In line with Jacob's daughter, which thing ought not to be done.
He had ought not to have done that.
And Hamor communed with them, saying, The soul of my son Shechem longed for your daughter. I pray you give her to him.
And you can make marriages with us.
Give your daughters unto us.
And I'll take our daughters unto
you.
And you shall dwell with us.
And the land shall be before you.
Dwell and trade therein.
And get you possessions therein.
And Shechem said unto her father.
And unto our brethren, let me find grace in your eyes. And what you shall say unto me, I will give.
See, the part that he messed up at, you should have did that from the start. You should have did that from the start. Instead of smashing my daughter, nigga. But listen what he said.
Ask me never so much dowry and gift, and I will give according as you shall say unto me, but give me the damsel to wife. And the sons of Jacob answered Shechem and Hamor, his father, deceitfully.
They answered him what?
Deceitfully.
So they lied.
It said, because he had defiled Dinah, their sister, they said unto them, we cannot.
Paul, notice it said the sons. Because guess what? These two men already decided what they finna do. Now, Jacob was looking at how to protect his family. See, some people, they be running their goddamn mouth. You have to look at it from Jacob's perspective. Jacob's number one perspective is protect his family. He's in a particular land where he's outnumbered by these people. So he's concerned with the fact that these people could overrun and slaughter him, his wives, and his children. You know what I'm talking about? But see, some people don't look at them type of things because you're not a man. See, it's a lot of niggas, they not men. They don't care about taking care of their wife. They don't care about taking care of their kids. It's a whole bunch of sucker niggas who like to get on Al Gore's internet and espouse scripture after scripture and don't live none of it. Don't live none of it. How is we going to listen to you and you don't even do what it is that you say that you believe? I'm not finna listen to you, blood. What I'm going to listen to you for? Y'all just don't understand how serious that is to me, man. I just told a nigga this today and yesterday. And I'm gonna keep telling y'all that, man, do not listen to people who don't live what they talking. Why would you let somebody teach you the words of everlasting righteousness and salvation and he ain't living it? How you gonna listen to him for? What's wrong with you? You can't be Brandy. You didn't want to be down that bad? You want to be a part of something? These niggas fronting 24/7. What's happening? So you can't be doing that, man. Your life on the line. Your life on the line. I done told y'all this before. I'm going to tell you again. You know why I be so ardent about y'all knowing what this book say? Because you know what your law say you're supposed to do as a man? To teach this to your sons and your sons' sons. It's imperative that you can open up this book and instruct your wife and children. Man, we don't be going through these precepts to battle with these goofies. These niggas are doofuses. What are we doing that for? If it come down to it, you be prepared. Because you should always be prepared for battle. You know what I'm talking about? As a soldier, you should always be prepared for war at any given time. But that don't mean we looking for war. That don't even mean we desire war. We don't care nothing about that. But if you step to me incorrectly, I'm going to deal with you. I'm going to deal with you. So I told these niggas the other day, boy, you put my name in something, boy, and I'm coming to see you. You know what I'm talking about? I'm going to come holler at you. I'm not coming to holler at you on no gangster stuff. You want to talk, you want to do that? Well, what's happening then? Because, see, I'm not going to go back and forth with you about no doctrine. We're going to be like Beanie Siegel, man. What's your life like? What that look like, man? Let's get it for real. Let's cut all the fat off the cattle, man, and let's get to the best parts. Let's talk about that. Let's strip away all your nice garments, man, and let's get butt naked out here, man. I'm talking about butt naked. I'm talking about exposed like the book. So you just heard he say he put the skirt over to cover your nakedness. Let's be bare before God, man. Let's see what that look like. Because I don't want to do that. Anybody can obfuscate and elucidate about doctrine all day long, and that can cover up the fact that they are unfaithful and disobedient. You know what I'm talking about? Let's strip this away, man. Let's see what your heart look like, blood. Let's do that. A lot of people don't want to do that. You know what I'm talking about? Shalom, East, man. Yeah, let's do that. I don't do all that debating, man. I'm not on that. I can do that, but I'm not on that. Because usually when you got people who want to debate word all the time, it's because they're not living it. Because the individuals who live in it, they would rather dispense the words of everlasting life to give hope to the hearer. You know what I'm talking about? To give strength to the weak, to give sight to the blind. You dig? That's what people who really own that, that's what they concerned with. That don't mean that some of them don't debate, because I know dudes who own that, and they still like a little sparring match every now and then. You know what I'm saying? Keep themselves spiritually and mentally sharp when it comes to things of that matter. Because for us to say that people didn't contend in this fashion with the word would be a lie, because we could see it in the book. People did that. These are human beings. You have to remember that these are flesh and blood people. You have to stop putting these people on pedestals like they didn't have the proclivities to the same things that me and you do. These are not superhuman people. They're regular people like me and you. There is no difference between them and us. You know the only difference between them and us? They level of faith. That's it. And if your faith the same as theirs, then ain't no difference between you and them. Yes, you can be at the same level as Elijah. You know how you know that? Because James told you that. If the Lord told you greater works than these than you'll do, then that man say, man, let this mind be in you. And then what he said, that you had a mind of Yahushua HaMashiach that thought it not robbery to make itself equal with God. That man that said, you ain't taking nothing from me by being equal with me. This is what I want. But you got stupid niggas who get on here all day. You blaspheming. How you taking esteem away from a man who want his sons to be like him? You niggas ain't got no sons, my nigga. What man don't want his son to be like him? How many of you brothers done took your son, man, and gave him the same haircut you had? You know what I'm talking about? Everybody know how Bootsy got mad because his son ain't want to wear the Bootsy fade. All his sons got the Bootsy fade. How many of y'all done dressed your son in the same apparel as you? Meaning not you ain't have to wear the same outfit, but you cop them the gear that you like. You pushing them in the vocations that you do. You buying the kicks that you wear. You know what I'm talking about? Or how many of you grew up wanting to look like your pops? Man, I tell you right now, man, I was telling this life, man, I wanted to grow a beard as a child because my daddy and my granddaddy had one. Man, I wanted one too. Like straight up, what was you talking about? You think I would have been taking something from my daddy for wanting to be equal with him? That's what he would want. Matter of fact, if he any type of man, he would want me to what? Exceed him. And what you see Yahushua tell you, greater, be better than me. And that's saying something. You know what I'm talking about? Hold on, man. Say most cats don't debate for edification because they can be proven dead wrong and still walk away with that error that they walked in a debate with. Yeah, most of them don't even want to understand the perspective of the other person who they debate. Whether you agree with it or not. We just had this conversation. If you be on Clubhouse, you know, most of us be in a particular room called Grand Rising. Everybody in that room don't believe the same thing. You know what I'm talking about? Do you know how hard it is in these people's minds for them to fathom that a group of people could not believe the same thing and get along? There's people in there who are black Jews. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about Jews. I'm talking about cap on head Jews. You know what I'm talking about? From Israelites to Christians to agnostics, all that type of stuff. Man, I don't care nothing about what this nigga believe because ain't nothing he could say that could make me change what I believe in. Oh, Dick and the Booty nigga had the nerve to say this here. Oh, they'll make you lose your faith. Let me tell y'all something, man. Can't nobody make you lose your faith. You ain't never had it to begin with. And guess what? The Lord told you that. He said when persecution and tribulation arise because of the word, by and by they are offended. That man say because they ain't have no root in themselves. And then he said, unless you sow that seed among the thorns, and then the deceitfulness of riches and the cares and affairs of this life took off the word, or you was deceived by the wayside. You ain't understanding it anyway, so Satan came and snatched it. Can't nobody make you lose your faith. You never had it. Because, boy, if you built your house on that rock, man, that man say, man, when the winds come and the storms come through, you can't be moved because you built your house on a rock. That's why you got to preach the word of faith to people, man. Preaching the law and you an Israelite is not building your house on the rock. Because when that light come, what we were talking about Wednesday, when we finna get the crank up in a second, when that distress come, when he take you through that narrow gate, through that distress, through that press, knowing you Israelite, they're going to keep you on that rock, man, I'm telling you. I'm telling you, I done seen too many people walk away from this, boy, when it got real. When it got real, they couldn't keep standing because they weren't never standing on nothing to begin with. He said, when two or more gathered in my name, I'm there. He said, folks, mix the blessing of gathering, gaining a friend to want to be first, therefore become like. You ain't lied. You ain't lied, man. People in this game for the wrong reasons, man. What's happening with your queen, man? People in this game for the wrong reasons, man. This is for everlasting life. Let me tell you something. Most people, I think this particular channel been up for 10 years. We still ain't got 1,000 subscribers. So what that tell you? You think we just do this for a count? Or how many? Who cares? If one person's soul gets saved, then that was it. Shoot, if nobody got saved, Yahuwah's name still got esteem. You have to remember, what is the objective? What did you come here for? When I say what you come here for, I'm not talking about to this channel. I'm not talking about to this congregation. I'm not talking about to this clubhouse room. I'm talking about to Yahuwah. Who did you come? What did you come here for? What was your objective? Have you forgot what you came here for? Have you forgotten? That's why he told you better remember your first love, man, and do your first works. You know what I'm talking about? Man, you got to remember that, man. It's real out here, man. What I got you holding, man? We got to get the roll, man. These niggas be making me mad, man. I ain't gonna tell you.
We were just reading Genesis 34. Let's build with that.
Continue on this.
Verse 13.
34 and 13, Genesis.
Saying the sons of Jacob answered Shechem and Hamor his father deceitfully and said, because he had defiled Dinah their sister, and they said unto them, we cannot do this thing to give our sisters to one that is uncircumcised.
Mm-hmm. This is what they were being deceitfully, because they knew what they were going to do once these men got circumcised. That's real right there, Sean. That's love right there.
For that a reproach unto us. But in this will we consent unto you. If you will be as we, that every male of you be circumcised, then we will give our daughters unto you. Mm-hmm. We will take your daughters unto us. Mm-hmm. We will dwell with you, and we will become one people.
Listen, back it up to 14, man. I'll give you some gospel out of that. Come on.
They said unto them, we cannot do this thing to give our sister to one that is uncircumcised.
That is a what?
A reproach unto us.
You know you can't be with somebody who uncircumcised. He said that's a dishonor unto us. But we ain't talking about circumcising your pee-pee. Jeremiah 4 and 4 on the house. After that, Colossians 2 and 10 on the house. 2 and 9 is better.
Say, circumcise yourselves to Yahuwah.
Circumcise yourself to who?
To Yahuwah.
Circumcise yourself to who?
Yahuwah.
Why?
Take away the foreskins of your heart.
Why?
You men of Yehuda and inhabitants of
He said, take away the foreskin of your what?
Of your heart.
Give him verse 14 on the house, man. If you know that Lauryn Hill album, you know where it come from. Listen what she say.
Or Jerusalem, wash your heart from wickedness.
Wash your heart from what?
From wickedness.
This is a lot of people problem. They ain't washed their left from wickedness. Why?
That you might be saved.
That you might be what?
Saved.
That you might be what?
Saved.
Didn't he say that they might be washed with the water of the word, that they might be blameless without spot, wrinkle, and blemish? You can't be saved if your heart is filthy. How you going to be saved and your heart is filthy? You got all this anger, you got all this maliciousness, you got this spitefulness, you got all these things going on. How are you going to be saved? Go ahead. Read it from the top.
O Jerusalem, wash your heart from wickedness that you may be saved. How long shall your vain thoughts lodge within you?
How long shall your worthless plots, plans, and inventions lodge within you? Tell them what thoughts is again. This ain't just thoughts that's in your brain, man. It's the things you plotting on.
Kashabal, that's thought, device, plan, or purpose, invention.
Your plots, your plans, your purposes, the things you get up and plot and plan to do. How long is them worthless plans going to be in you, man? My God, today. Colossians 2:9.
For in him dwell all the fullness of the Godhead bodily, and you are complete in him, which is the head of all principality and power. In whom also you are circumcised with the circumcision made without hands.
Say that again.
In whom also you are circumcised with the circumcision made without hands.
Circumcision made without what?
Without hands.
Come on with it.
Putting off the body of the sins of the flesh by the circumcision.
Putting off what?
The body of the sins of the flesh by the circumcision of Hamashiach.
Notice right, he said, we can't give our sister to you, to somebody who's uncircumcised. It's a reproach unto us. Do you not realize if you're not circumcised in your heart, that's a dishonor for you? Because you know your law tell you to circumcise your heart. It's Deuteronomy 10:12 to be specific. You know what I'm talking about? That's a dishonor for you. You can't be married to this man in that fashion. That's a reproach. Continue.
Buried with him in baptism, wherein also you are risen with through the faith of the operation of Elohim, who have raised him from the dead. And you being dead in your sins and the uncircumcision of your flesh have been quickened together with him, having forgiven you all trespasses, blotting out the handwriting of ordinances that was against us.
See, Paul, what's going on here is the opposite of what you're seeing. There was ordinances against them becoming one. They weren't blotted out. This is why Sechem and everybody got murked. You know what I'm talking about? But it's the opposite. He can blot all that out so you could be with my sister, because we can't fool with you when you uncircumcised. That's a dishonor to us. You understand? Come on back to Genesis 34, though. You see how this is the confirmation of the attestation. You did? That's what this is what you're talking about bind up the testimony. But that testimony has to come, is bound up through sufferings, though. That's the part of the game. That's why nobody likes to talk about the testimony. They'd rather talk about the law. They'd rather talk about you being Israelite, because nobody want to deal with the testimony, because the testimony you're going to have to suffer. And don't nobody want to suffer. Nobody say if you suffer with him, you'll reign with him. How do you expect to have dominion with a man who suffered and you not going to suffer? Now, you don't have to suffer like he suffered, but there's going to be some suffering if you're going to be confirmed in him. That is the reality of the situation. That's why the quote-unquote non-believers who call themselves Old Testament only, that's why they don't like him. Because they don't want to suffer. They don't want to suffer. They don't want to do nothing. All these niggas want to do is run their mouth. They don't want to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? And when I say they don't want to do nothing, I ain't talking about just no feast days and Sabbaths, man. They don't want to be merciful. They don't want to be compassionate. They don't want to be kind. They don't want to be brotherly. They don't want to do nothing. They don't want to do nothing but say your doctrine trash. You know what I'm saying? Now, people can tell you on here, man, I don't get in conversations with people about no word for real. But one thing I can say, when I do go to talking about some word, don't nobody never got nothing to say. You know what I'm talking about? Don't nobody never got nothing to say. Because I'm not going to be talking about the stuff that they're going to be. Let's talk about something real, man. We real people. Let's cut the fluff, man. Let's cut the nonsense, man. And let's get to the nitty-gritty of the situation and the circumstance. But you understand something, man? I learned this long time ago. People do not want the real. When I say the real, meaning authentically true conversations. I'm talking about things that will provoke you to godliness, provoke you to righteousness. People don't want that. People don't want nothing that they can actually take that could actually make them a better individual, because then they would have to look inwardly and do the work necessary to be able to become that. And most people are lazy. Most people want it, but they don't want to do what is required to get it. They just want someone to hand it to them. And that just don't work. You know what I'm saying? That's just not how life works. You could take the easy road and you're gonna go to hell. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, they ain't gonna work out for you, but it is what it is. Come on with it, man.
Verse 17.
That's right, Ernie. You know what Proverbs say? I can't go out there. There's a lion in the street. Sorry, bastard.
He said, but if you will not hearken unto us to be circumcised, then will we take our daughter and we will be gone.
Hold on, I forgot to mention verse 16. He said, if you do this, then we can become one people. You see how that goes back to what we were in Colossians? If they get circumcised in the heart, then you become one people. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, man. What's happening, Barry?
But if you will not hearken unto us to be circumcised, then will we take our daughter and we will be gone.
And their words
pleased Hamor and Shechem and Hamor's son, and the young men deferred not to do the thing because he had delight in Jacob's daughter. And he more honorable than all the house of his father.
Mm-hmm.
And Hamor and Shechem, his son, came unto the gate of their city and communed with the men of the city, saying, these men peaceable with us, therefore let them dwell in the land and
trade therein.
For the land, behold, large enough for them. Let us take their daughters to us for wives, and let us give them our daughters.
Drop down to 25. We ain't got to read what they talking about. They gonna get their foreskins clipped.
And it came to pass on the third day, when they were sore, that the two sons of Jacob, Simeon and Levi, Dinah's brethren, took each man his sword and came upon the city boldly and slew all the males.
Tell them what boldly means. Came in and killed everybody. Killed them all.
That's Batak. Security, safety, securely.
They came in
boldly,
Shalom,
confidence.
Shalom, 22 kid. Listen, they came strong because they knew God was with them. These people got to die. They did the thing that they ought not to have done. Go ahead.
And they slew Hamor and Shechem his son with the edge of the sword, and took Dinah out of Shechem's house and went out. The sons of Jacob came upon the slain and spoiled the city.
Because they what?
Had defiled their sisters.
They took their sheep,
and their oxen, and their asses, and that which was in the city, and that which was in the field.
And all their wealth.
All their little ones and their wives took they captive, and spoiled even all that was in the house.
And Jacob said to Simeon,
and Levi, you have troubled me to stink among the inhabitants of the land, among the Canaanites and the Perizzites. And I, few in number, they shall gather themselves together against me and slay me, and I shall be destroyed, I and my house.
And they said,
should he deal with our sister as with a harlot?
You think you're going to deal with my sister like you deal with a hoe? I think not. This is the same. Man, look here, right? Regardless, we know everybody's not virgins. But, man, you can't be in no congregation and dudes smashing on her. Hey, man, you can't deal with her like no harlot, bro. And, baby, you can't deal with yourself like no harlot. So now we don't do that here. You said BOA some years back. I seen BOE say the righteous should be blessed and not persecuted. Yeah, they want to skip out on that part. I guess they just completely ignore the persecution David suffered, the persecution that all the prophets suffered. I guess they just want to skip out on that. Man, it's only one prophet in this book that you see that was not persecuted. And who was that? There's only one prophet in this book that you see that was not persecuted. Can anyone tell me who that man is?
I want to say Adam.
No. Adam persecuted himself. That's it. Omar hit it. Solomon. That's it. Solomon ain't getting no trouble from nobody. You know what I'm talking about? He had peace for the entirety of his rule. Ain't nobody come fooling with him. You know what I'm talking about? And Yahuwah made it that way because he wanted it. That's another conversation. I got off track. Ezekiel 28. But before you do that, read me John 10 and 30 one more time.
I and Abba are one. Then the Yahudim took up stones again to stone him. Yahushua answered them, many good works have I showed you from my Abba. For which of these works do you stone me? The Yahudim answered him, saying,
For a good word,
we stone you not, but for blasphemy.
because thou
Being a man,
maketh yourself.
Elohim.
John 5:16. You can make it 14.
Afterward, Yahushua find him in the temple and said unto him, behold, you are made whole. Sin no more, lest a worse thing come up unto you. The man departed and told the Yahudim that it was Yahushua which had made him whole. Therefore did the Yahudim persecute Yahushua and sought to slay him, because he had done these things on the Shabbat day.
What else?
But Yahushua answered them, my Abba worked hitherto,
And I work.
Therefore the Yahudim sought the more to kill him, because not only had he broken the Shabbat,
But he
said that also that Elohim was his Abba,
making himself
equal with Elohim.
Ezekiel 28:1.
The word of Yahuwah came again unto me, saying, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus saith Yahuwah Elohim,
What he said?
because your heart is lifted up.
Because your heart is what?
Lifted up.
Your heart is what?
Lifted up.
Why is lifted up, Ezekiel?
You have said, I, Elohim.
I am a what?
Elohim.
I am a who?
Elohim.
And sit in the seat
Of Elohim.
in the midst.
Of the sea.
Yeah, you are a what?
A man.
And not,
Elohim.
though you set your heart.
As the heart of Elohim.
My God, today. Now, these people just said, you being a man, make of yourself God. Ain't that's what they said? Y'all think that you got people telling you this Satan. Never at any time do you read anywhere where Satan said that he wanted to sit as God and be God. You see that with the beast. But of course, we done went through that before. The beast wants to have what was given to Esau. But that was given to Jacob, that was originally Esau's. As far as how the birthright is concerned. Again, I tell you, man, it's a lot of things, man. When you look at things, you have to look at things culturally. You have to look at things naturally. And then you look at things according to what the will of God was. Naturally, the firstborn always get the birthright. But that wasn't the will in heaven, though. You know what I'm talking about? Like as we discussed before, you could look in the aspect of who had the birthright originally of the sons of Jacob. Reuben did. Why doesn't Reuben have that birthright? Because he defiled his father's bed by sleeping with his concubine. Who did the birthright go to? It went to Judah. But who was it supposed to go to? Who was the birthright supposed to go to? Y'all moving slow. 1 Chronicles 5:1. Y'all supposed to know that. I don't know. We ain't said it in a while, so.
So now the sons of Reuben, the firstborn of Yasharal, for he was the firstborn.
He was the what?
The firstborn.
Well, he was the what?
The firstborn.
But what happened?
Before as much as he defiled his father's bed, his birthright was given unto the sons of Joseph.
It was given unto the sons of who?
Joseph.
Why did it go to Joseph? Y'all supposed to know this now.
The son of Yasharal.
Pause. Y'all supposed to. Why does it go to Joseph? Reuben is the firstborn son of who? And Joseph is the firstborn son of who? Because it don't go to the concubine sons. Ain't nobody hear you.
You said no.
No, it did. It didn't eventually. He finna read it. Continue.
It's saying the genealogy is not to be reckoned.
The genealogy is not to be reckoned after the what?
The birthright.
The genealogy is not to be reckoned after the what?
The birthright.
Why?
For Yehuda prevailed above his brethren.
Because Yehuda prevailed above his who?
His brethren, and of him the chief ruler, but the birthright Joseph.
See, it doesn't matter. Joseph don't matter. The chief ruler don't come from Joseph. Why? Genesis 49:7. He said Judah prevailed. Judah overcame. Genesis 49:7.
Say, curse their anger, for it was
Okay,
fierce.
verse 8.
Yehuda, you are whom your brethren shall praise.
Yehuda is whom your brethren shall who?
Praise.
That's right, Sean.
Your hand in the neck of your enemies. Your father's children shall bow down before you.
Your father's children shall bow down what?
Before you.
Nobody, look here, right? You seen the sons bow down to Joseph as a what? A similitude of them bowing down to Mashiach. See, these non-believing niggas will tell you, you see Joseph say 11 stars made obeisance to me. You go to Matthew 28, you see Mashiach say all hail, and the 11 apostles made obeisance to him, representing them tribes. Because remember, he told you the end from the beginning from the end. We ain't even finished reading Revelation 19, what I wanted to finish, because we still got to read Ecclesiastes 9, but I will read those things over again, because we talking about binding up the testimony, and I can say by all esteem and praise the Abba and Shamaim in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach, if I can't do nothing else in this life, I can teach you the testimony of the Son of the living God. That I can do. If I wasn't able to do nothing else in this life, that I can do. You know what I'm talking about? And that's why I don't really get in no back and forth and debates with these dudes. Because number one, I'm not gonna cast my pearls before swine. Number two, these niggas don't really want no problems. You know what I'm saying? And when I say that, meaning they don't know the word like that. So they're not gonna really want to go, because we're gonna go 3-4 layers deep messing with me. You know what I'm talking about? I was telling Brother Robert this here, Mama Steph, a conversation we had where she was like, you dropped the word like somebody would in someone's college, on someone's college campus. And I would tell him, Brother Robert, I'm like, at one time, at least for Muffin Nail and Jason, I would definitely put together syllabuses for them to follow. I'm talking about very, very in depth. You know what I'm talking about? And so when we go through this text, my entire objective is for you to be able, very detail oriented, very, very razor sharp, that you know exactly what it is that you're looking at, why you looking at it, why does it say this, why did this happen? It's for you to understand what is written. That's why when y'all ask you, hey, this, that, there, and the third, you gentlemen already know what I'm going to tell you. Know what? No general answers. I need you to be specific. You know why? Because if you can't be specific, you can answer a question generally. That does not denote to me that you have control of the subject matter. You know what I'm saying? If you can get razor specific, guess what that tells me? You have control of the subject matter. Show your work. You can't tell me 5 times 5 is 25. I need to see how you got that 25. You know what I'm talking about? I need to see how you got that 25. You know why? Because that's what the standard is. You know why? Because that's what the standard that you see in the book. When he told you search the scripture, that's what he meant. When you see them, these men were more noble than those in Thessalonica because they searched the scriptures daily to see if these things are so. That is the standard. That's not the standard because I wanted to be the standard. That's the standard because that's what's laid out in the book. That man say, seek out the book of Yahuwah and read. Every one of these will have their mate. You need to be razor specific. There is no excuse for any grown man to be a part of anything that he says is vital to his life, and you don't have control of the subject matter. That is ridiculous and completely and totally unacceptable. Completely and totally unacceptable. As a grown man, you should not be, I'll wait till bruh break it down. It's one thing if you don't understand and you ask questions, that's different. But for you to just not to know, I've been told y'all this. I don't want to hear just no answer to no question. I need to know you understand what you're looking at. Because if you don't understand what you're looking at, that means that I quite possibly have failed to do my job. It says, by that means did Judah get the birthright? He did. This is why Chronicle says the genealogy is not to be reckoned according to the birthright. Because Judah prevailed. Why did Judah prevail? Because of David. That's why Judah prevailed. You know what I'm talking about? Just to simply put, you know what I'm saying? The birthright was Joseph's, but Judah prevailed because of David. Because he made a covenant with David that the chief ruler would come from David, because David had a heart after Yahuwah's, and that's how that went down. And we can read all that. Read 1 Chronicles 5:1 again. I got to make sure you know what it do. I appreciate that too, Mama.
Now the sons of Reuben, the firstborn of Yasharal, for he was the firstborn, before as much as he defiled his father's bed, his birthright was given unto the sons of Joseph, the son of Yasharal. And the genealogy is not to be reckoned after the birthright. For Yahuwah.
Hold. Tell them what reckon means. We from the South, it ain't that type of reckon, though. Donnie J.
That's your cost to reckon genealogically, enroll on a genealogy, to enroll, to be enrolled.
So this is to reckon genealogically. It should be total death for genealogy then. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking about generations. My apologies. It's not going to be total death. It could be. But
It's your cost, the same word for reckon.
you know what I'm saying? Same word. So you can't reckon the birthright or the inheritance after the genealogy. Continue.
Said, for Yehuda prevailed above his brethren, and of him the chief ruler, but the birthright Joseph's.
Go ahead and give me prevail and chief ruler.
Prevailed is Gabar, to prevail, to have strength, to be strong, to be powerful, to be mighty, to be great.
To be powerful, to be mighty, to be great. Y'all do realize that David prevailed. He prevailed in a different fact, but continue.
Chief ruler is Nagid, leader, ruler, captain, prince.
The leader, the ruler, the captain, the prince. Ain't no leader, ruler, captain, or prince coming out of Joseph. Come on back to Genesis 49 and what? 8? Let it go.
Yehuda, you are whom your brethren shall praise, your hand in the neck of your enemies. Your father's children shall bow down before you.
Your father's children shall do what?
Bow down before
That's
you.
exactly what the apostles did. Come on.
Yehuda, a lion's whelp from the prey, my son, you are gone up. He stooped down. He couched as a lion, and as an old lion.
Who shall
rouse him up?
Only the Father raised him up.
The scepter shall not depart from you.
The scepter shall not depart from what?
Yehuda.
From who?
Yehuda. Nor a lawgiver.
Paul, this is the thing you need to know. The first king came from what tribe? Benjamin. And then David took over. And nobody was supposed to be king after that. You know what I'm saying? Ephraim / Joseph got rulership because of Solomon's sin, but that wasn't the intent. He said the scepter shall not depart from who?
Yehuda.
Nor
a lawgiver from between his feet.
Ain't no lawgiver ever come from Joseph. Now what the law, tell him what lawgiver mean. Ain't no lawgiver come from Judah. So guess who that lawgiver is? Read Isaiah 33 and 22 again. We just tackling old stuff, man. Just buckle your seatbelt in, man, and just enjoy the ride, man.
That's called to cut, to decree, to inscribe, to set, to engrave, to appoint.
To appoint. Isaiah 33 and 22, listen what that say. Some of y'all should remember this when we were looking at Melchizedek.
So for Yahuwah, our judge, Yahuwah, our lawgiver, Yahuwah, our king, he will save us.
He said, who is our lawgiver?
Yahuwah.
But didn't it just say Judah was the lawgiver? But Moses wasn't from Judah. And that's the only, listen here, man. Moses is the only lawgiver you got in this book. And anybody tell you anybody else is a lawgiver, they're grossly misinformed. You can't be a giver of the law after it's been given. All you can do is be resetting what has already been bearing witness to. People tell you Yahushua son of Nun is a prophet like unto Moses. Nigga, how? He ain't give no law. Are you serious? These niggas dumb. We just had a jackass arguing with me talking about Yahushua son of Nun was a priest. Who can tell me what tribe Yahushua son of Nun came from? That nigga was pissing me off too. Boy, these niggas be making me mad, man. I ain't gonna tell you no lie. And it don't be the fact about a difference of perspective. What be pissing me off is dudes just be wanting us to just throw verses and word and stuff just for the sake of it. Just to be right. That's what really be pissing me off. Let's take a look. Numbers 13 and 5. Because Brother Joseph and Omar seem to be here. Brother Joseph, you good out there, man? I know you out there in California, man. 13 and 5. You got niggas talking about that's who out there. There's some people, but the government burning this stuff up. You seen the scriptures unfold? You ain't seeing those scriptures unfold. Because California on fire. There's always wildfires out there, just not this time of year. I seen the dude say, why they just can't get ocean water and put the fires out? You gonna fly your monkey behind out there in 100-mile-per-hour winds? Because I surely ain't. But somebody did say that once you drop that salt water on that land out there, it'll make it, for sure. Praise you. It'll lead to the mudslides when the rain comes. You know what I'm saying? Somebody said they ain't had no rain out there in almost 2 years. And they said it was extremely dry with 85-mile-per-hour winds. Now, that don't mean Yahuwah ain't set it on fire. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm talking about is that it's not the, you're not seeing those scriptures unfold because California is on fire. If something going to be on fire, it's going to be more than L.A. Matter of fact, it's something going to be on. It's going, man. These people going to feel that air, man. I'm telling you something. He don't just hit L.A. Boy. He going to hit these people in their governments where they at. He going to attack where they God's at. You have to know your God better than that. All he burning up his houses in Palisades. No, man, that man gonna hit them people where it hurt. He gonna bring them to their knees. These people ain't brought to their knees because California on fire. You better learn Yahuwah, man. Come on with it, good sir.
Of the tribe of Simeon.
That's right, 10K.
Shaphat, the son of Hori, of the tribe of Yehuda. Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, of the tribe of Issachar. Igal, the son of Joseph, of the tribe of Ephraim. O'Shea, the son of Nun.
O'Shea, because remember his name was Hosea before he changed it to Yahusha. His name was Hosea. He from the tribe of Ephraim. I say, buddy, how he gonna be a priest and he an Ephraimite? You just can't go in the temple and start making stuff at the altar, man. You're gonna die. These people think you can just do what you want to do. You cannot serve Yahuwah how you want to do. I don't care what none of you niggas say. Man, that man said in that law, man, if you're not a Levite, boy, you can't go to that altar, boy. Man, it's certain tribes of the sons of Aaron that couldn't even go behind the veil. Like, do you read the entirety of the word? Or you just look at the parts that you want to look at? You can't just do whatever you want to do. That's why we have problems now. Because you ain't got no order, no discipline, no structure. All this shows is you ain't had your daddy or your daddy was weak. Because that means you could go in your daddy's house and you could do whatever you wanted to do. As a man, nobody in your house should be able to do whatever they want to do and you sitting in there. That means they ain't got no respect for you, your authority, nothing. They can just know they can do whatever they want to do. Nah, bro. Yahuwah don't operate like that. You're not finna do what you want to do in his house. There's consequences. You know what I'm talking about? No, man. See, we're not talking about ruling with an iron fist and being no douchebag and none of that extra stuff. But this is what it is and this is what it ain't. And if you cross that boundary, you're going to have to see me. That don't mean I got to kill you. That don't mean... Now, in this instance, is he going to kill you? I mean, come on, man. He killed Aaron's sons for offering strange incense upon the altar and told Aaron, you bet not say a word. Now, can you imagine your sons being put to death and God looking at you like, you bet not say nothing because you know they out of pocket. The same way he killed Eli. He said, you knew your sons was around here smashing women at the tabernacle and you ain't stopping. That's why I mentioned that about the people getting mad because the pastor brought the young girl up there. You're not supposed to let these people sit up under your watch and do whatever they want to do. No, you can't do that in here. You want to do that? Go outside the house and do that. But you know what we want to talk about? Niggas doctrine. Whole time the people dying. They dying. Nobody cares. My God. Come on, what was that good, sir?
Isaiah 33.
No, we finished that right. So we're dealing with the lawgiver. You know that they said that, you know, that Judah was made high priest in the Hebrews 7. He said about no one who out of a tribe that Moses never said would attend unto the altar. So if Judah is the lawgiver and Yahuwah is the lawgiver, guess what we can ascertain by Yahusha? What two and two can you put together from that? I'll let y'all tell me. If Genesis 49, before Isaiah, if the law say that Judah is the lawgiver, but Moses is from Levi, and then Isaiah tells you that Yahuwah is our lawgiver, our king, and our judge, what does that tell you about Yahushua HaMashiach? What does that tell you? Don't worry, I'll wait. I got time. See, where Leah at? Leah ain't on it no more. But Muffin on here, who I can see. Muffin know. Will know. Stanley and Darius know. Deidre know. Y'all do not want me to revert back to being as anal as I used to be about y'all answering questions and me not moving forward until somebody do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm serious about that. I am definitely serious. Read Matthew 13:50 real quick. He said, what was the name change? Joshua similar to Peter's name changing? Like, well, you know, Jose, it's always remember that names in those times, people gave names based off of deeds, actions. See, of course, now you got people, you just name your kid just to name your kid because you think it's a cool name. You know what I'm talking about? So when you look at Jose, when you see what that means, it means salvation. You know what I'm saying? His name simply meant salvation. But when his name got changed to Joshua, then you see that who is salvation? Yahuwah. You know what I'm talking about? So it's necessitating the action. Because now it's just salvation. But now he's the one who bringing them into the land, representative of Yahuwah is salvation. Oh, ain't nobody answered me yet. Y'all think I'm playing. Let me take y'all back to 2015 for a second. I'm going to stay right here. I got time. What I just asked you?
Matthew 13:50.
Read that for me, please.
Said, and shall cast them into the furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Yahweh shall said unto them, have you understood all these
Have
things?
you what?
Understood all these
That's
things?
the most important thing. Have you understood all these things? Now, again, read me Genesis 49:8 and Isaiah 33:22.
Yehuda, you whom your brethren shall praise, your hand in the neck of your enemies, your father's children shall bow down before you. Yehuda, a lion's whelp from the prey, my son, you are gone up. He stooped down, he couched as a lion.
Mm-hmm.
As an old lion, who shall rouse him up? The scepter shall not depart from Yehuda,
Nor
a lawgiver from between his feet.
till
Shiloh come,
and unto him
the gathering of the people.
Isaiah 33:22.
For Yahuwah is our judge, Yahuwah our lawgiver, Yahuwah our king.
What can we ascertain from these two passages? He said Judah is the lawgiver, and Isaiah said Yahuwah is the lawgiver. What can we ascertain from this? What's causing all this? That's what Ric Flair used to say. Did y'all see Hulk Hogan get booed out the building? That was absolutely hilarious. That man came out there, they booed this man unmercilessly. And he deserved every bit of it too, with his funkin' stankin' behind. Yeah, I said it. Well, what you can ascertain from Yahuwah being the lawgiver and the lawgiver coming from Judah, I guess you would know what that would make Yahushua scripturally now, wouldn't it? I guess you know. And if you don't know, I suggest you look at it again and put 2 and 2 together, then put 2 and 2 more together, and you'll see that Yahuwah and Yahushua is one and the same. But nevertheless, what was we at before that? We still got Ecclesiastes 9 on deck. We'll go back and look at Revelation 19 again. Maybe I need to read. Well, I can give you a brief synopsis. We're looking at, you can come back to Ezekiel 28. We're looking at where in John 5, excuse me. In John chapter 5, around verses 14, about 16, 17, 18, somewhere in there. Where they say, you being a man, maketh yourself equal with God. And then you come over here to John chapter 10, about 30, 36, and they say, he say, man, what y'all stoning me for? They say, for blasphemy. He say, for good works we stone you not, but for blasphemy, because you, being a man, maketh yourself who? Maketh yourself God. So let's come back to Ezekiel 28, verse 2. Matter of fact, before we do that way I can get this out the way. Read me Revelation 19 and 10. We'll come back and finish Revelation 19 and 7. I can come back with that on the back end. But Revelation 19 and 10.
And I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, see not, I am your fellow servant and of your brethren that have the testimony of Yahushua.
Have the what?
Testimony of Yahushua.
Have the what?
Testimony of Yahushua.
Remember, bind up the who? The testimony, the confirmation, the attestation that this is true. The witness. I'm the brethren that have the testimony of who?
Yahusha.
And what else?
Worship Elohim.
Why?
For the testimony of Yahusha.
The testimony of what?
Of Yahusha.
The testimony of what?
Yahusha.
Is the Ruach
of prophecy.
Read me 1 Peter 1 and 14. Make it 10. Let Yahuwah be esteemed.
Of which salvation the prophets have inquired and searched diligently.
Make it 9. We don't want to leave nothing out.
Receiving the end of your faith, the salvation of souls. Of which salvation the prophets have inquired and searched diligently.
They search for
Who
it.
prophesied of the grace unto you, searching what manner of time the Ruach of Hamashiach, which is in them, did signify, when it testified beforehand the sufferings of Hamashiach.
They testified beforehand the sufferings of who?
Hamashiach.
Tell them what signify mean, man. Is it a bad signal? What is it?
Deloo, to make manifest, to make known by relating, to declare, to give one to understand, to indicate, to signify, to make plain by words.
They made it plain by words. They indicated. Listen, that take you to Hosea 12 and 10, by the way. Go ahead.
In the esteem that shall follow, unto whom it was revealed that not unto themselves, but unto us.
Not unto who?
Not unto themselves.
Dang, I ain't finished watching my dog video. I got to watch the rest of that. Go ahead.
But unto us did they minister the things which are now reported unto you by them that have preached the gospel unto you with the Ruach HaKadosh sent down from Shamayim, which things the Malachim desired to look into. Wherefore, gird up the loins of your mind, be sober, and hope to the end for the grace that is to be brought.
So he said they were bearing witness of the Son of God. They were testifying. Amen, Sister Jenny. Come on with 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 15.
Moreover, I will endeavor that you may be able after my decease to have these things always in remembrance. For we have not followed cunningly to devise fables.
We don't follow fables, man. We don't read Aesop over here.
But we made known unto you the power and coming of our Lord Yahushua Mashiach.
What else?
For we're eyewitnesses of his majesty.
What else?
For he received from Elohim the Abba honor and esteem. When there came such a voice to him from the excellent esteem, this is my beloved son, in whom I am well pleased.
Come on.
And this voice which came from Shamayim we heard when we were with him in the Kadash Mount. We have also a more sure word of prophecy, whereunto you do well. That
we
you
have a more sure word of what?
Of prophecy.
That you do well, that you what?
Take heed.
And prophecy, what? The testimony of Yahushua. That's the breath of prophecy. Come on.
As unto a light that shine in a dark place until the day dawn.
Till the day dawn and arise where?
In your hearts.
Go ahead.
Knowing this first, that no prophecy of the scriptures of any private interpretation.
Ain't not a single solitary prophecy in this book of any private interpretation. But Kadash men of Elohim were moved.
For the prophecy came not in old time by the will of man, but Kadash men of Elohim spake, as they were moved by the Ruach HaKadosh.
These men all spoke as the Spirit gave them utterance to speak. You know what I'm saying? That's how the game go, baby. That's how it go. Who was that before him? Don Joanne, bring me that water over there. Donnie can't reach it. Go ahead. Where you was at? Ezekiel 28:2. All right, mommy, get it to you.
Hey, son of man, saying to the prince of Tyrus, thus saith Yahuwah Elohim, because your heart lifted up and you have said, I, Elohim, and sit in the seat of Elohim in the midst of the seas. Yet you are man and not Elohim, though you set your heart as the heart of Elohim. Behold, you wiser than Daniel.
Now you really think Satan wiser than Daniel? Go ahead.
There's no secret that they can hide from you.
You think it's secrets that can't be hidden from Satan?
With your wisdom.
Hold on. Didn't it say that this man knew they thought? Didn't it say Yahushua knew they thought? You really think Satan know your secrets, man? You think Satan know the hidden things, man? You really giving him that much credit? Tell him what secret means now, man. Don't the book say the secret things belong to Yahuwah and he revealed them to his servants, the prophets? What secret things Satan got?
That's the thumb, to stop up, to shut up, to keep close. The secret.
What secret Satan got? Tell me one. I'll wait. Don't nobody know no Satan secret Satan got? Why y'all keep believing this man got all this goddamn power? Why y'all believe that? Who is Satan? What can he really do? You know the only thing Satan can do? Tempt you with what it is you already want to do. That's all he can do. He tempted Yahushua, but he couldn't tempt Yahushua because he didn't want to do none of that what he was offering anyway. You know why? Because Yahushua's allegiance was to his father. He had more trust and hope in what his father promised him than what Satan could offer him. All Satan can offer you is that which pleases the flesh, boy, but for a moment. The Father's going to offer you that which will satisfy the soul for eternity. If you don't know the difference from that, you're going to take what Satan offers every time. Remember, he cursed the serpent to go upon his belly. Why? Because his God is his belly. He desires earthly things. That's all Satan can offer. What secrets has Satan's servants ever made manifest? I ask this question because you have to pause and ask yourself, why are you giving an adversary, an opponent, an accuser, a whisperer, a slanderer? Why are you giving him so much power and reign that he don't have? He don't have any of that. He's your opponent. He is a real op, literally. His name literally means opposition. That's literally what he is. The only power Satan has is to turn you to the desire that you have in your own heart. That's all he got. And that ain't even no power. Listen, if you don't care about vagina, Satan can't get you. He can't get you. Not with that. But if you full of doubt and anxiety, he can get you with that though. But at the end of the day, who got who? He didn't get you. You got yourself. Satan is the worst type of individual because he gonna tempt you with something, and when you fall for it, he gonna say, "I ain't tell you to do it." Y'all remember Training Day when he told Jake to smoke the sherm, and when he hit it, he says, "Not like I put a gun to your head." That's the type of nigga Satan is, man. He's Alonzo in that car, man. That's the type of person he is. He gonna tempt you with what you like. He gonna tempt you with something, and then when you do it, he gonna be like, "I ain't tell you to do that. I didn't make you do that." And now who has to suffer the consequence for the decision? You do. Yeah, that's not, no, man. Satan only have power because you give him your power. When you feed into fear, remember what Nehemiah said, they want to cause me to be in fear so that I might sin. You know what I'm talking about? Satan is going to want you to feed into the lowest and basest elements of yourself. You know what I'm talking about? He wants you to feed into your carnal desires. That's why you can't be carnal. Because you'll never be able to please God in a fleshly state. That's why he do that. That's why he do that. So that's why you have to have a strong level of self-awareness. That's why you have to have a level of self-honesty. If you desire to overcome through Yahushua HaMashiach, you must have that because Satan don't have no power. Read them Romans 16 and 17, man. I tell you this because Satan is no one to fear. All you have to do is remember what Peter told you. He said, be on guard, be aware, because your adversary, the devil, goes about as a roaring lion. I mean, you got to be on point now. You can't be no sucker because you got to see him coming. Remember, Paul said, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. We know his plots, plans, and inventions, so we already up on game. That's why we be focused on you to make sure you know the word, that you know the nuances between who God is and who he ain't, who work for him and who don't, who's his servants and who ain't. You got to stop being lame to the game. People getting got because you're lame. Meaning lame, meaning that you're inexperienced. You're not actually using the word, so you can't discern between good and evil like Hebrews told you. You got to be up on your game. When you up on your game, you can see him coming a mile away. You're going to see him coming. And then you can resist him in the faith, and he will flee from you. The man ain't got no power like you think. You more scared of Satan than you is of God. Ain't that retarded? Come on, man.
So now I beseech you, brethren, mark them which cause divisions and offenses contrary to the doctrine which you have learned, and avoid them. For they that
he said, do what?
Say, mark them which cause divisions and offenses.
He say, mark them that cause what?
Division.
Mark them that cause what?
Division.
See, people get in the word and they act like you supposed to mark them that cause division. You know why? Proverbs 6 and 16. This is why you supposed to mark them. That nigga an abomination. Then he said, avoid him. Stay away from that nigga. What you fooling with somebody who an abomination before God for? You let it be known, you leave the whole nigga alone. Simple. He said, don't sit in the seat of the scorners. He said, blessed are those who don't sit among scorners. You don't sit around people who want to mock you, man. Man, bump them niggas, man. You know what I'm talking about? Come on with it, bud.
These 6 do Yahuwah hate, yea, 7 an abomination unto him. A proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood.
Said innocent what?
Innocent blood.
Listen.
A heart that devises wicked imagination.
Listen.
Feet that be swift and run into mischief.
Your feet swift to run into mischief? You devising wicked plans and devices? You an abomination before God. Go ahead, man.
False witness. That
you telling lies?
And he that sowed discord among
brethren. And then you sowing discord among brethren, you an abomination. God hates you. Now listen what Paul said you ought to do. Romans 16 and 17.
Now I beseech you, brethren, mark them which cause the
divisions
and offenses contrary to the doctrine.
Contrary to what you had heard, and what?
And avoid them.
Leave them alone. Listen.
For they that are such serve not our Lord Yahushua Mashiach.
They don't serve God. Who they serve?
But their own belly.
They serve their own lust.
And by good words and fair speeches deceive the hearts of the
simple.
simple.
By good words and fair speeches they deceive the hearts of the simple.
For your obedience is come abroad unto all. I'm glad therefore on your behalf, but yet I would have you wise unto that which is good and simple.
Simple to that which is evil. Be skillful so you can peep the wickedness, but be simple when it come to doing evil because you don't participate. Read that part again, man. Listen what he telling you, man. This game he giving you. But he be like, Paul teaching against Jesus. He teaching against the Torah. No, you just a jackass. That's what you is. A donkey smarter than you. That man giving you pure game to make sure you keep your souls from being stained, from idiotic, stupid people, from wicked niggas who seeking to deceive. Read it from the top again, man. God damn it. I hate all these wicked niggas. Now, I hope you do too.
Say, now I beseech you, brethren, mark them which cause divisions and offenses contrary to the doctrine which you have learned.
And when I say wicked, I'm not talking about people who not in the word and live in contrary. I'm talking about people who say that they represent the name of God, say they service of God, and are broiled in iniquity. I'm talking about swim in it, bathe in it, drink it, eat it. Them people are despicable. You can't be around here talking about everybody got... No, these men say they see. Remember what he said? He said, if you were blind, you would have no sin. Yet you say you see, your sin remain. These people know what they doing. They blaspheming the name of our God and causing his enemies to blaspheme his name. You ain't supposed to be taken up for these people. Come on, man.
And avoid them, for they that are such serve not our Lord Yahushua Mashiach, but their own belly.
Their own lust.
And by good words and fair speeches deceive the hearts of the simple.
Listen.
For your obedience is come abroad unto all. I am glad therefore on your behalf, but yet I would have you wise unto that which is good.
That I would have you wise. He said, I want you to be skillful to that which is good, but what to evil?
And simple concerning evil.
But tell them what simple means, man. I want you to be skilled. I want you to have some coke mouth of doing good. I want you to be skillful, tactful, and shrewd with it. But when it comes to being evil, I want you to be simple as Simon.
That's akaraios, that's unmixed, pure as in wines or metals of the mind, without a mixture of evil, free from guile, innocent, simple, harmless.
Harmless, free from evil. That man say no mixture. You know what that take you back to the law? Don't mix them garments, man. Don't mingle seeds, man. Don't mix your seeds. Let me find that for you. Read that definition for him again, please, good sir. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, we ain't talked about mingle seed in a long time.
Akaraios, unmixed.
Look at the Lord.
Pure as in wines or metals.
He say pure as what?
Pure as in wines or metals.
He say keep your minds pure, baby.
Mind, without a mixture of evil. Free from guile. Innocent.
Free from evil. Simple. Without a mixture of guile. Y'all hear that? Keep yourself simple when it comes to evil. And what the Lord told you to do. Be wise as a serpent. Harmless as a dove. Ain't that what he told you? Dang, I can't remember what I said. That's all you got to do. All you got, when you go back and you look at the word, man, that man tell you how to move now. He tell you how to move. He tell you how to avoid all the folly, all the foolishness, all the wicked people. He tell you exactly what to do. A lot of times we don't do that, and then we find ourselves embroiled in things that we don't want to be embroiled with. Sometimes, man, you got to do exactly what the man told you, and you'll get what you're looking for. Don Joanne. Man, I can't remember what that is. The boy say big booty chin, hump with it. You don't know nothing about that, see? Ain't it? Joanne. 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 What you say, Joanne? Come here, Joanne. I ain't asked you nothing about none of that. I ain't asked you about none of that. Don Joanne. Come on, Deuteronomy 22 and 11. Come on, but that's one of them. That ain't the other one though. But matter of fact, I can back it up. Give me 22 and 9. There you go. 22 and 9. Deuteronomy 22 and 9. Listen.
You should not sow your vineyard with diverse seeds.
You should not do what?
Sow your vineyard with diverse seeds.
Back that up for a second, man. Go ahead and tell him what diverse seeds. You know seeds is a rock. Y'all already know that. But he can read it again.
Diverse seeds is one word. That's kilayim, two kinds, a mixture. Been in practice among cattle, crossbreeding, seeds for sowing, and cloths.
That man say crossbreeding. See, hold on one second.
Or mingled seed.
You mingling your seed? And you got people thinking angels could do that. How you gonna do that? How is angel semen going to inseminate human embryos, human eggs? How that's gonna happen? You have people believe that angels could knock down a woman, but a woman couldn't get pregnant without having sex. Where is the stupidity going along with that? Now again, you mentioned this word, right? It's kaf, lamad, aleph, meme. And again, this is this is cross again, a forbidding practice of sowing seeds. You don't want two kinds. He said, don't sow your vineyard with that. Let's see why you wouldn't want to do that. Matthew 13. (13 to 36). Come here, Joanne.
Then Yahushua sent the multitude away and went into the house, and the disciples came unto him, saying, declare unto us the parable of the tares of the field.
What happened?
He answered and said unto them, he that sowed the good seed is the Son of Man.
That's right.
The field is the world. The good seed are the children of the kingdom.
But the tares
are the children of the wicked.
The enemy that sowed them
is the devil.
The harvest
is the end of the world.
And the reapers
are the Malachim.
As therefore
the tares are gathered and burned in the fire,
so shall it be
in the end of this world.
The son of Adam
shall send forth his Malachim. They shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend and them which do iniquity,
and shall cast them
into a furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. Then shall the righteous shine forth as the sun in the malkuf of their Abba. Who have ears to hear, let them hear.
So when you see this is what happened when you have diverse seeds sold in your vineyard. Tell them what a vineyard is. Man, you should have heard this dude try to tell us what a husbandman was. It was one of the most terrible things I heard in a very long time.
A vineyard is karim, a vineyard. A garden or vineyard.
A garden. You think it's mingled seed in the garden of Yahuwah? What you think he telling you don't put no, ain't gonna be no diverse seed in his garden, in his king? Isaiah 52 and 3.
For thus saith Yahuwah, you have sold yourselves for nothing, you shall be redeemed without money. For thus saith Yahuwah Elohim, my people went down aforetime into Egypt to sojourn there.
Oh my gosh, it's wrong place. Hold on. Make it 51 and 3. Make sure. We ain't got time to go. Yeah. I got something wrong place. It's 51 and 3.
For Yahuwah shall comfort Zion. He will comfort all her waste places. He will make her wilderness like Eden, and her desert like the garden of Yahuwah.
He's going to make Zion like the garden of Eden. Now, you can read Zephaniah 3 and 9. You can read Isaiah chapter 4. You can read Revelation 22. 21, excuse me. Ain't nothing wicked going to be there. Ain't going to be no diverse seed in there. He ain't cross-mixing and mingling nothing. He said, you of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. And the parable is, the seed is the word of Elohim. And he that is born of Elohim do not commit sin. He cannot sin because he is born of Elohim. He said, he that commits sin is of the devil. He said, in this we know the sons of the devil and the sons of Elohim. You know what I'm talking about? Ain't no mingle seed in there, man. That man ain't mixing no seeds, cuz. Come on, keep on going, man. Come back to Deuteronomy 22. 22 and 9.
You shall not sow your vineyard with diverse seeds, lest the fruit of your seed which you have sown and the fruit of your vineyard be defiled.
He said, lest the fruit of the seed which you have what?
Sown
and the fruit of your vineyard
be defiled.
That's why he say evil communications corrupt good manners. Some of you had not the knowledge of Elohim. I speak this to your shame. This is why he told you, mark them that cause division and leave them alone, lest you be defiled. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to cut the people off, man, lest you be defiled. Continue.
You should not plow with an ox and an ass together. You should not wear a garment of diverse sorts, of woolen and linen together.
Now look here, man. How you going to wear the flesh and the spirit? The carnal mind is enmity against the law of Elohim. It is not subject to it, neither indeed can be. The spiritual mind is life and peace. Man, you can't wear the law and the spirit, man. Which one you going to wear? Which one you going to wear? You can't wear both. But you're supposed to keep the law, then. You missing the point. You missing the point. That's why you got to bind up the testimony. When you bind up the testimony, then he'll seal the law in your inward parts. But you got to have the testimony bound up. You have to actually believe what he's spoken first. If you don't believe what he's spoken, the law won't be sealed in your heart because you'll break it. Because you don't believe. Dudes think they believe because they keep the law. You know how many niggas I seen don't believe his word? You know how many people I saw kept law all day long, and then when their faith got tested, they walked away from this here, man? You know how many people I seen who that happened to? A lot. A lot. These are the things that most brews not going to tell you. They're going to make something else up, dog. They just, you know what a lot of dudes say when they hear somebody say, I'm no longer a part of the Hebrew community. You can't deny your nationality. That's all they care about. They don't care about nobody separating from Yahuwah. The only thing they care about is a nationality. When you're supposed to be sons of God. That man told you that he gave you power to become the sons of Elohim, not by the will of the flesh, not by the will of man, not by blood, but by Elohim. And the only thing you worry about, the gates of the city after Israel. If you ain't born of the word, because you ain't got to worry about being there. You ain't got to worry about being there because you ain't going to be there. If you're not a son or daughter of the living Elohim, you will not be there. And that man told you this. He said, if you don't have the Ruach of a Mashiach Sivit, guess what? None of his. I mean, if you ain't a son of God, how you going to get there? Boy, you're going to have to put that goat hair on like Jacob did, boy. If you don't put that goat hair on like Jacob did, boy, you ain't going to get the blessing, boy. You're going to be AOL. And I ain't talking about Time Warner either, nigga. Yeah, boy, you're going to have a problem. We good. Come on back to Ezekiel 28. They don't like to talk about that, sis. They say, I don't like that nigga. That's why I'm going to unsubscribe like I care. (28:3) one more time.
Behold, you are wiser than Daniel. There's no secret that they can hide from you.
With your wisdom,
and with your understanding,
you have gotten you
riches,
and have gotten gold and silver
into your treasure.
Y'all really think Satan got enough wisdom that got him riches? What wisdom and understanding do Satan have? What do we have? You let these people tell you this, the devil. Let me ask y'all a question. It said he was wiser than Daniel, right? Mm-hmm. What testimony do we always talk about that this book has of Daniel? What's the testimony that Gabriel gave from heaven about Daniel? Did anybody know the witness that the Malachim Gabriel gave about Daniel that came straight from on high? That's right, Omar. That man say, oh man, greatly beloved. And you putting Satan on par with a man who has a testimony of being greatly beloved, that don't seem strange to you? And what I mean is, why did somebody tell you this was the devil, and why did you believe them? Did you search the scriptures to make sure that was so, or did you just accept it because you seen pride and lift it up? Sound like Satan to me. But then you didn't sit back and realize that's how the Pharisees seen the Lord. Remember, they said he had Beelzebub in him. Do you not realize the ungodly, that's what they going to say about you? They going to take your confidence in Yahuwah as being pride. They going to take you saying that Yahuwah has placed you in a position that you exalting yourself. Do you not realize that Korah then came at Moses and said the same thing and said you put too much on yourself and you lift yourself up over the congregation? They literally saying the same thing. You say, God taught us too. Y'all don't be seeing how jealous and envious niggas be when God don't fool with them in the capacity that they want him to fool with them. One thing for certain and two things for sure. You can't do nothing about who Yahuwah choose. He choose who he want to choose. He use who he want to use. He exalt who he want to exalt. Man ain't got nothing to do with that. Man ain't got nothing. That's why he said, cast your cares upon him. He'll exalt you in due time. He said, he that humbleth himself shall be exalted. That's right, Omar. Dudes don't want to, they don't want God to exalt them. They want the exaltation that comes from man. But guess what? The exaltation that comes from man only for a short time. The exaltation that comes from your Abba and Shamaim lasts forever. Which one you want? You can be lifted up by man, but you can't be lifted up by God, though. You can't have both. You got to pick one. You know what I'm talking about? You got to pick one. And you know what, unfortunately, what most people do? Pick the wrong one. Pick the wrong one. You know why people pick the wrong one? Because they don't want to suffer. Don't nobody want to suffer. Luke 24 and 45. These people don't want to suffer.
Then opened he their understanding that they might understand the scriptures. And he said unto them, thus it is written, and thus it behooves Mashiach to suffer.
To what?
To suffer.
And to
rise from the dead the third
it said
day.
Tell them what behoove mean in the Greek. I'll tell you what it mean in English. I just like that word. Are you behooved? I always like that word.
Thus died. It is necessary.
Necessary.
There is need of. It behooves. Is right and proper.
It's right and proper that I suffer. Now, and again, it's the same thing in English, man. Behoove, the duty or responsibility for someone to do something. It is incumbent upon. It is appropriate. It is suitable. It befits them. It's necessary to do. It was needful that he suffered. But you forget what's the first curse in the book as it pertains to man. I'm not talking about the first curse that hit the serpent. I'm not talking about the curse that was given to Eve. I'm talking about the curse that was given to man. What's that first curse? Huh? That's one of them. Remember, it's several. That is one. Boot mentioned the to the work by your sweat of your brow. That's one of them, but it's another one in there. I mean, clearly y'all know where it's at. I mean, this is an open book test, y'all. What y'all got going on?
Dust you are, and to dust you shall return.
No. That one of them, but that ain't the one.
It curses the ground for your sake. Sorrow shall you eat all the days.
Sorrow shall you eat of it. What else? It's more.
Thorns and thistles shall
Thorns and thistles. Didn't he say he thorn in his side? That means he was going to have troubles, sorrows, and vexation. That's the first curse you see. So why wouldn't you think that the second Adam going to have that same curse? And if you're going to be in the first and the second Adam, but that's not going to be your life? That's not going to be your life? Read 3 and 17, man. What's wrong with people? This is what I mean when you can tell people don't believe the word. They trying to buck suffering, but this man, remember, this curse that's on Adam is on every man. This is on every man. That's right, Darius. Come on.
And unto Adam he said, because you have hearkened unto the voice of your wife, and have eaten of the tree of which I commanded you, saying, you shall not eat of it.
Mm-hmm.
Cursed is the ground for your sake. And sorrow shall you eat of it all the days of your life.
Tell them what sorrow is, man. Again, if we talk about binding up the testimony, to bind up the testimony, you're going to have to go through distress.
It's about pain, labor, hardship,
pain,
sorrow, toil,
harshness, sorrow. That man said you're going to have to go through pain and harshness, and you got people talking about you supposed to have a soft life? That's not what God said. I'm talking about for his servant. That's not what God said.
Was never promised.
He never promised you that. That man never promised you a soft life. That's what you told yourself you wanted. That's not congruent with what he got going on. I'm talking about if you want to be perfected by him. You can have a soft life. That don't mean you're going to be perfected by him. Because everybody who's going to be perfected by him, you're going to have to go through pain and sorrow. You're going to have to, because the first Adam went through it. And everything the first Adam went through, the second Adam got to go through. And if the second Adam went through that to prevail so that the scepter would not depart from him, nor a lawgiver between his feet, unto him the gathering of the people going to be, then everybody who suffer with him going to reign with him. But don't nobody want to reign with him because they don't want to suffer. They don't want to suffer. And I ain't saying that your suffering has to be financially, but there's going to be some manner of pain or suffering that everyone who will be saved must experience. This is why Paul said what he said right here in 2 Timothy chapter 3. Again, verse 9.
But they shall proceed no farther, for their folly shall be manifest unto all, as theirs also was. But you have fully known my doctrine.
You fully know my what?
My doctrine.
Am I?
Manner of life.
Now, how this old fake bishop gonna tell us his life ain't none of our business? We supposed to know your manner of life, you wicked bastard. Oh, wicked George of the jungle. You know what I told that nigga Civic? I told that nigga, man, you around here hitting that lady, man, hitting that lady yams. I hope when you go over there, you get erectile dysfunction. I said, I hope when you go over there, her vagina dry. I said, I hope when you go over there, you get a venereal disease. I said, I hope you go to your car to start it up and it won't work. Straight up and down, man. I hope you go over there and she on a menstrual cycle. You know what I'm talking about? Anything that can go wrong, I hope it go wrong with your wicked self. Because you stood before heaven and earth and all these people and said, I am delivered to do this because I'm old. Oh, wicked George. See, y'all know I'm dead serious because I don't even call niggas. I'm calling this nigga, and I'm on this nigga trail every time I see him with your wicked self. And you have the utter and unmitigated gall to call yourself a bishop. This is the same jackass that said a bishop was higher than an apostle. Because, see, he want to do these theatrics. I don't do no theatrics. I'm going to bash your head up with this word, and I'm going to go home. You know why? You know what they call Jacksonville Civic beside Duval County? Do you know? You don't know? That's because you ain't from here. You know what they call it? The bang 'em. You know what we do with the nigga? Well, we hang 'em. Hang your maggot behind outside, let the vultures get you, nigga. We don't play no games with suckers around here, man. You ain't know that, did you? They just had a bit. I just seen the interview with Fred Taylor was interviewing Ladarius Sneed. He played for the Titans now. He said, son, he talking about, you know that's the Bangham now. That's how you know Fred played here. You know what I'm talking about? Amen, Brother Marcus. Brother Marcus says it's hit differently when you were told, I'd rather be cut off by the world than cut off by Yahuwah. Absolutely. See, only people who from here call Jacksonville the Bangham, or you lived here a long time. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't from here, you ain't going to know what we talking about. Because this is banging where we hanging, boy. Boy, I'm talking about you going to come around here, you're going to go back home in a body bag. Yeah, man. Yeah, I had to tell him that because that was wicked. That's wicked. And we give passes to people like that. You ain't supposed to give nobody no pass like that. Not nobody who claiming to be no preacher. One thing I done told y'all before, man, if you examine when Yahushua was rebuking people, he never rebuked the common people. He never rebuked the people. He only had harsh and furious rebukes for the so-called teachers of the word. Did he check the people if their behavior was not congruent with godliness? Yeah, he did, but not with furious rebukes. He didn't do them like that. He reserved that strictly for the so-called teachers and leaders of his people. That's who he reserved that for. And that's who I reserve it for on my end, because I'm just doing what he did. You call yourself a teacher, I'll bash your whole brain in, nigga. Around here lying and perpetrating. Yeah, we're going to pull your skirt up, man. Let them people see them streaks in your drawers, nigga. You don't wipe your booty good, man. You got hooked. You've been hook sliding in your underwear because you still wearing briefs. You 49 years old. Nigga, go take a shower. What they call them things they have in the toilet? Shoot in your anus. You need one of those because your butt dirty. You don't wipe good. But Dave, I don't know if I would want nothing like that. I don't think I would care for that. That seems inappropriate. Nevertheless, that's just me. That seems like that's just, yeah, that's not gonna work for me. Go ahead. What we at?
2 Timothy 3 and 10.
2 Timothy 3 and 10.
Say, but you have fully known my doctrine, manner of life, purpose, faith, long-suffering, love, patience, persecutions, afflictions, which came unto me at Antioch, at Iconium, at Lystra, what persecutions I endured.
What persecutions I endured.
The Lord delivered me.
He delivered me.
Yeah, and all that will live godly in Hamashiach Yahushua.
All that live godly in Yahushua HaMashiach
shall
will do
suffer
what?
Persecution.
You're going to suffer persecution. That's how it goes, baby. That's how it goes. That's just how the game go. You dig? It can't go no other way. It can't go no other way. That's how he set it up. That's how he wanted to be. That's how it's going to be. Come back to Genesis 3 and 17.
And unto Adam he said, because you have hearkened unto the voice of your wife, and have eaten of the tree of which I commanded you, saying, you shall not eat of it. Curse the ground for your sake, and sorrow shall you eat. Eat it all the days of your life.
All the days of your life.
Thorns also and thistles shall it bring forth to you. And you shall eat the herb of the field. And the sweat of your face shall you eat bread till you return to the ground.
You know that he said in thorns and thistles, you're going to have pain. You're going to have trouble. And you're going to have sorrow. So when you see him say it behooved the Mashiach suffer, read it again. Luke 24 and what? 45 or 46? I think it's 45.
This verse 46.
Come on, Luke 24 and 46.
And said unto them, thus it is written, and thus it behooved Hamashiach to suffer.
So if it behooved the first Adam to suffer, wouldn't it behoove the second Adam to suffer? Especially if he became a curse for us, because cursed be he who hangeth from a tree. That means he had to take on that same curse. But all these boys want to tell you that the curse of the law, Deuteronomy 28, Leviticus 26, they don't even know what the curse of the law is. The curse of the law is death. Curse of the law is not no captivity, fool. Before you had a captivity, you had death, you dummy. My God, today. Now you really think Satan got wisdom, great wisdom, and increased in riches? Well, his wisdom, with his wisdom and understanding, he got great riches. When Proverbs 8 tell you that he got durable riches, gold and silver, read it for him, man. 8 and 14. Man, you can't be listening to these people, man. They don't believe in God. When I say believe in God, they don't believe what he said. They don't believe what he promised. The testimony has not been bound up in them because they refuse to suffer. Come on, man.
Say, counsel of mine and sound wisdom. I am understanding. I have strength. By me, kings reign and princes decree justice. By me, princes rule and nobles, all the judges of the earth. I love them that love me.
I love them that what?
Love me.
I love them that what?
Love me.
I love them that what?
Love me.
Talk to them.
And those that seek me early shall find me.
They're going to find me.
Riches and honor with me. Durable riches and righteousness.
He said, what's with him? Riches and honor are with who?
With me.
And what else?
Durable riches and righteousness.
Tell them what durable means. It ain't talking about some durable clothing, is it? What is it talking about?
That's a thought. Handed forward, advanced, enduring, durable, valuable, eminent, surpassing.
Valuable riches. It surpasses what he told you to do. Don't lay up your no riches up and no treasures up on the earth where moths can eat away and thieves can steal. He told you to lay up your treasures in heaven where no man can steal. It's valuable. It's preeminent. And you think Satan has valuable and preeminent riches, man? When all he could offer Yahushua was the riches of his life? That's all he could offer him? Oh, he said, makes Paul Thorne make more sense? Praise the Lord. Yeah, we all got to go through it. You know one of the reasons why Paul suffered the way that he suffered? Because he persecuted others. Remember, he said he by no means clears the guilty. And a lot of times he'll give back to you the very thing that you were doing. Remember, that's what he did to David. You took a man's wife, I'm going to take yours. You take a man's wife, I'm going to take yours. And that's what he did. He said, you did it in secret, we're going to do it where? In the open. And that's what he did. Got to pay attention to how he operates. Because you got a lot of people, man, put it this way. Read me what? Proverbs 27:4. This go back, we were talking about when people was mad that man brought that woman out there to confess her sin. But listen to what he said.
Wrath is cruel, anger outrageous, but who was able to stand before envy?
He said wrath is cruel, and anger is what?
Outrageous.
But who can stand before?
Envy.
What did Pilate say he knew that the scribes and Pharisees brought him to Lord for? What did he say? Do y'all know what he said? When Pilate said, when Pilate made the attestation, made the statement of why the scribes and Pharisees brought that man over there. There it is, Omar. That's it. Come over here to John chapter 19. Let me make sure that's what I want. It might be 18. Because he said, who can stand before envy? But you can't stand before that. But you're going to need God to stand before that. I promise you that. Oh, it's Matthew 27. I'm thinking about 27 and what? 14. Matthew 27, 14. Run it.
And he answered him to never a word, insomuch that the governor marveled greatly. Now at the feast, the governor was wont to release unto the people a prisoner whom they would. And they had then a notable prisoner called Barabbas. Therefore, when they were gathered together, Pilate said unto them, whom will you that I release unto you, Barabbas or Yahushua, which is called Mashiach? For he knew that for envy they had delivered him.
He knew for what?
For envy they had delivered him.
How you going to stand before envy, man? They were envious of this man. That's why your law tell you not to what? Not to covet. Because you know what covetous lead to? You envying what this person has. You know what I'm talking about? Tell them what envy mean in the Greek. I'll tell them what it mean in English. See if they should be had the same definition. I'll let you go first. Say sometimes it's just me, but I think the Pharisees actually admired the Mashiach, but they hated the fact that he did sometimes. Yeah, that is correct. I mean, because it says in Matthew 7 that they said, let me read it because I'm about to say it wrong.
This is thonos, that's envy, for envy, prompted by envy, jealousy, or spite, ill will.
Jealousy, spite, ill will. Listen, this is what it says at the end of Matthew 7. What is that? 7:28. And it came to pass when Yahushua had ended these things that people were astonished at his doctrine, for he taught them as one having authority and not as the scribes. See that through them. When you look at envy in English, it's a feeling of discontentment or resentment, longing aroused by someone else's possessions, qualities, or luck. The desire to have a quality, possession, or other desirable attribute belonging to someone else. And then you feel unhappy because someone else possesses or has achieved what one wishes oneself to possess or achieve. Now, envy is when you want what someone else's has, but jealousy is when you're worried someone's trying to take what you have. Yeah. See, a lot of people get envy and jealousy confused. You know what I'm saying? Most people are not jealous of you, they envious of you. And envy aligns with covetousness, which the 10 tell you not to do. He said, don't desire your neighbor's ox, your neighbor's ass, your neighbor's maidservant, menservant, and do not covet your neighbor's wife. Because what is that? That's lust. You know what I'm talking about? See, these people desire to have what he had. That's a great sin in the eyesight of God. You know why? Because that great sin caused them, because you remember this now, y'all know this. A just man fall how many times, Sid? And then he do what? Rise again. And in Proverbs 26, what he told you, he said, if a man come speak fair, believe him not. Why? Because it's 7 what in his heart? And them 7 abominations is a what? A heart that devises wicked imaginations, feet that are swift to run into mischief, a false witness to tell lies, a proud look, sowing discord among brethren, all these things. All these things, these are the 7 things that he fell in, but he rose from the dead. You understand? And when you dealing with being covetous, that's what happens. You'll fall into them 7 abominations, and you'll be willing to do all them things to take what someone else has. You know what I'm talking about? This is part of the reason why Isaac and Abraham say, hey, tell them people you my sister. Because he know that these people will kill me for what I have. Which is showing you that Mashiach knew that these people are going to kill me for what's mine. They're going to kill me for my wife. You know what I'm talking about? See, all these things interconnect. And look here, man, Jacob suffered. That man suffered through famine. That man suffered through being a stranger in the land of promise. Abraham suffered. Isaac suffered. Joseph suffered. The whole house of Yasharal suffered in Egypt. But yet don't nobody want to look at it. You know what I'm talking about? Don't nobody want to deal with none of that, man. They don't want to deal with it because they do not genuinely believe in the Elohim of heaven and earth, the Elohim of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Yahuwah of hosts is his name. You know what I'm talking about? And that's just what it is, man. Ain't no way around it. Ain't no denying it. It's just what it is. People don't have to agree with it. They don't have to like it, but you see it every day. Right or wrong? You see it every day. I told these people that y'all think because people got a Bible in their hand that they believe? You think because they get on the internet every day talking about the word that they believe it? You got men who get up every Shabbat, every Sunday morning, and preach out the word and don't believe none of it. You know what I'm saying? And you know how we know they don't believe none of it? Because all you have to do is look at their life and it'll tell. People are like, you don't know what people don't believe? You lying to me. When this man say his word is sharper than a two-edged sword, dividing of asunder of the joints and marrow and the soul and the ruach, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. See, you know why y'all can't tell people don't believe? Because you dealing with things that it don't touch to the inward man. You're not touching with stuff. Remember, man, that man said, I'm going to speak kindly to you. I'm going to speak to your heart. When you speaking to the flesh, you'll never be able to tell if somebody believes. When you speak to the inward man going to show how he feel about Yahuwah and his promises. I guarantee you that. Not because that's what I say, but because that's what the book say. So that means that's what Elohim has said. But you got to stop being lame and stop being goofy and stop being simple and see what's before your face and accept reality for what reality is and not for what you want it to be. I've told you plenty of times before, I am a pragmatist. I am pragmatic. I am not an ideologue. I am not idealistic. I do not walk around looking at the world and life for how I think it should be or how I want it to be. I deal with life for what it is. I deal with reality. If this is the reality of the situation, it is what it is. It doesn't mean that I like it. It don't mean that I don't like it. It means that that's the reality and I must adjust according to the reality that is before my face. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. I can't deal with life and, well, you know, maybe I don't move like that. You know why? Because I know niggas who've been killed And I ain't saying that just for no, I'm talking about seriously, man. I know men who have been, what's the word I'm looking for? Crossed out, backdoored. You know what I'm saying? It's another word, adjective I'm looking for, but it escapes my mind at this time. You know what I'm saying? Double crossed and lost their life. You know what I'm saying? Like lined up too. You know what I'm saying? Like straight him down, boy. A man who I had love for, man, as a young man, boy, nigga lined my nigga up, got him out of here, man. And you think, look here, man. We were talking about this here, man. Look here, man. I'd never go to no woman's house when I was in the street. Ever. I'm not going to her house, man. I don't trust you. You know what I'm saying? I don't trust you. I don't care nothing about no vagina. I do not trust you. And it has nothing to do in regards of her being a woman. Man, I don't know what you got on your mind, man. Somebody could pit niggas or want to do something to you for what they think you got. And if you don't really know that woman like that, man, you know why? Because I knew chicks who did it. You know what I'm saying? I knew chicks, hey, baby, she fooled with you. Hey, this nigga doing this here, we could get him. And you think I'm finna be walking around here stupid like that? Damn. Brother Ernest said that's how his oldest son got killed. My condolences. No, I learned that a long time ago, man. You can't be moving like that, and you barely can trust the dudes you know, unless you know they solid. Because a lot of people out here, they selfish and they self-centered and they lustful. And a lot of them, man, you know what I'm saying? They trying to backstab you and take your place, take your spot. That's how people move. It just is what it is. That's why when you know you got people riding with you, man, then you got to know that and cut that. A lot of people done had people who would have rolled with them, but they pushed them away because they was on some other type of time. You know what I'm saying? People who ride with you, man, they gonna ride with you. But when you go to acting all, no, man, people gonna leave you alone. You be like, nah, I'm good. I'm not dealing with that. I already showed you I was down with you, nigga. What more do you want? We just had to tell a bunch of goofy niggas there, man. You know what's wrong with niggas, man? Niggas don't ride for their people, so they be shocked when people ride for their people. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, bro. Nigga, I was like that before the word. Nigga, my people, come on, man. Man, me and my homeboy got in a situation. Nigga, we probably could have got killed, man. You know what I'm talking about? Simply because this my nigga and a nigga did something to his cousin. We gone. Ain't no questions to be asked. You know what I'm saying? We out of here. Nigga, what's happening? Look here, man. When my cousin was pregnant with her oldest son, y'all have mercy on his soul. And she sent me this email transmissions like, oh, this nigga talking about what he gonna do to her and his gun's legal, this, that, there, and the third. Man, as soon as I told my homeboy, like, nigga, we gone. We on the way to Atlanta. We gonna put this nigga dick in the dirt. And we already were plotting on how we were gonna get away with killing this man. Not on no tough stuff, but you're not finna do nothing to my cousin, cuz. I promise you're not finna do nothing to her. She called and said, man, y'all don't come up here, man. She thought about it. Cause boy, we finna hurt this man. Period, point blank. Look here, and all I had to do is say, hey, boy, nigga, try cuz, boy. Hey, we gone. Let's go. That's it. We ride. Ain't nothing to talk about. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing to talk about. We gone. But you're not finna do that, man. Now niggas in the word, and they feel like they can disrespect people, say stuff to anybody any kind of way, and ain't nobody finna ride for them. Nigga, you out your rabbit mind, man. Now, see, if somebody do your homeboy like that, you be like, that nigga hold his own unless he say, hey, boy, we got a mash on this nigga, then we gone. But you talking about mom dudes, daughters, sisters, grandmas? Nigga, you crazy as all outdoors. You crazy as all outdoors. Look at, man. This even before they got, look at, I can mess with Doris all day long. Another nigga can't do it. And we don't know you. You know what I'm saying? That's my people. Yeah, I can crack jokes on her. That's my people. You can't do it, though, cuz. I don't. Hey, bro, watch your mouth, bro. Don't talk to her like that. What's wrong with you? It's not that hard. But a lot of people don't realize that, man. You know what I'm talking about? Man, that's your people. Hey, that's your people. Y'all do. That's my people. Nah, bro, you can't try my people like that. Boy, we're going to part your scalp, my nigga. Like what y'all niggas think this is, man? Oh, you supposed to be in the word. You see what Reuben and Levi, Simeon and Levi did. Now you play with it. You see what they did. Got everybody up out of there about their people, man. What you talking about? Nehemiah said, hey, man, fight for your what? Your wives, your brethren, your sons, your daughters. Oh, man, come on, is you crazy? These dudes just act like you ain't supposed to say nothing. You ain't supposed to do nothing. Okay, you keep thinking that until a nigga bust you upside your head with a baseball bat. And I ain't talking about no literal one either. We're going to crack your head wide open with these words, man. Yeah, man, no, that's not, nah, bro. That's not what it is, man. If we down, then we down. That's how you supposed to be in the word. Everybody supposed to, you can't fool with them. You know why? You think Yahuwah going to let somebody fool with you? Ain't he going to come see people about you? Then we supposed to do the same, man. Now, the only difference is if you out here starting stuff with people. You know what I'm talking about? You out here starting stuff with people, they want to come get somebody talking about they messing with me. Oh, no, you're going to down that hill by yourself. Because you out here starting stuff, you ought to leave people alone. And that's male or female. You can't be out here saying stuff, talking to people sideways and crazy, threatening people, then coming to my, hey, man, they messing with me. No, they ain't messing with you. You were messing with them. You know what I'm talking about? Now they giving you the energy that you done gave out. Now you want to come help me. Now you on your own. And I don't care how you feel about that. You on your own. You shouldn't have did. We ain't one of them people, I'm right even when you're wrong. Not in this here. You wrong. You know what I'm talking about? And you're going to be wrong by yourself. But boy, you don't mess with them. The word people to fool with it, the people who don't mess with nobody. You don't mess with nobody? Oh, we're going to part your scalp, cuz. So, and I'm not talking about literally, because for us to do something literally violent to you, you would have to literally be threatening someone's life and it ain't got nothing to do with no word. You know what I'm saying? See, if it come down to the word and we being threatened, we're going to take that quietly and we're going to rejoice in the Mashiach. You know what I'm saying? But if you just talking about you finna threaten someone physically and ain't no gospel involved in that, you just think you finna do something to this woman or do something to this man, or we're going to hurt you, cuz. You can take that and feel how you want to feel. And now one of y'all should let nobody, I don't care if your people in the word or out the word. Of course, your first mode of action should be protect those who in the word. But boy, if them your family members, your friends, these people you say you love and care about, man, you ain't supposed to let nobody do no harm to them, man. We already read that verse before. If you see somebody delivered over to the sword, man, and you ain't do nothing to save them, man, that man say he gonna come see you about that. You know what I'm talking about? That man say he gonna come see you about that. Man, if you can save somebody's life, then you save it. If you see somebody being oppressed, then you stop it. It's not that hard, man. Bump these niggas' feelings. I said that Wednesday, and I'm going to say it again tonight. Y'all too worried about other people's feelings. I don't care nothing about your feelings. You know why? Your feelings change. The Ruach stay the same. Now, which one you want to deal with? Told you, man, you got to stay out your feelings. Y'all know what we used to say all the time. You could be in the gym. You could be in your bag. You could be in some vagina. You can't be in your feelings, though. You can't be in your feelings, man. Your feelings is a dangerous place to be. It's a dangerous place to be. You know what I'm saying? It is a very, very dangerous place to be. Because you can't think straight, and you're not going to be thinking clearly. See, people might hear me snap on a nigga. They think I'm in my feelings. No, I ain't in my feelings, bro. I said what I meant. I meant what I said. I mean what I just said to you. You know what I'm talking about? Come on, man. Where we at here? I think we need to finish Romans 16, but where we at here, man?
We just read that Matthew 27.
Yeah, we good. We good on that, blood. We good. Yeah, man. Let's finish this Romans 16, man. You gotta be careful with that, man. They delivered that man up for envy, man. They wanted what he had. Oh, we was in Proverbs 27. My bad. Yeah, 27. My bad. Like, I forgot that football game, bro.
Say, wrath is cruel, anger is outrageous, but who is able to stand before envy?
Listen.
Open rebuke better than secret love.
Open rebuke is better than what?
Secret love.
And the kisses of an enemy.
Faithful are the wounds of a friend.
Faithful are the wounds of a who?
Of a friend.
Of a who?
Of a friend.
And?
But the kisses of an enemy, deceitful.
Tell them what friend is there, man. He said, you got a friend indeed. You got a friend indeed. He said, faithful are the wounds of love. Now, he said, faithful are the wounds of love. He said, these are the wounds that you found in the house of my friends. Guess what friends is in that Zechariah 13? Love. Get it for them in case we making this. They think we making this up. You think they're talking about why you think the man said greater love had no man than this, that a man lay his life down for his friends, man? Why you think the book tell you Elohim is love, man? Why you think it say that? Because he's already told you in Proverbs, faithful are the wounds of love. Them wounds faithful. Niggas don't know that because they ain't faithful. 10K say, looking back, all the issues I had with people because of envy. I didn't know at the time. A lot of times you don't even realize that the issues you got with people be because they envious. Which truth be told, Mama Steph, that's all that was. That was just envy. That's why people move like that. When people be envious, they always move duplicitous. You know what I'm saying? That's how they move. That's how they move. This is how people move. And that's crazy. People envying somebody over a phone app. That's the craziest part. But you know what people was envying? Wish people loved them like that. Don't nobody love them like that. But let me tell you something. If nobody don't love you like that, you might need to look at yourself. You know what I'm saying? You might need to look at yourself. Nigga don't fool with you. Why is that? Man, look here, man. I'm going to tell you how pissed off these niggas. Boy, it was 3 women, man, talking so crazy to Mama Steph, man. I went on. I'm like, I'm going to get out this room before I cuss these hoes out. Literally. Because, boy, I wanted to call them hoes and all. Well, you know I don't talk to people like that. You know what one of these maggot hoes had to say? She said, you can't be telling people your blood pressure went up and this, that, there, and the third. Nigga, what? What's wrong with you, ho? Like, what's wrong with you? Not that they smiling in your face. Whole time they want to take your place. You know the song, Backstab. You don't know that song? But get this nigga out my house. This nigga don't know they smile in your face. Whole time they want to take your place. The backs. You don't know that? Man, what Civic did, man? What your people were playing, man? I know, I forgot. They be stroking.
I already told you that.
That's what they were playing. My God, today. You know what I'm talking about?
That music we had no business here.
But that's a classic, though. It was a classic, though. You know what I'm saying? But all jokes aside, that's what they did to the Lord. You know what I'm saying? That's what they did to the Lord. They wanted to take his place. Man, a lot of people, they really be upset because they be wanting to be you, man. Who just sent it? We gotta get them together, Darius, man. You gotta get him hip to the game, man. You gotta get him hip to the game. You know what I'm saying? But seriously though, like these women talking about they call you mama. Nigga, what? This woman said that's the crazy part. I thought all black people did that. That wasn't even something, and of course you mean when I say all, I don't mean literally. You know what I'm saying? But that wasn't something that like, bro, in every hood I ever been in, there were people like, that's not their mama. They be like, hey mama. That's not their mama. They know this lady. She's known her since they was a child. Some people just call her mama out of respect. You done been with me and Jimmy when we've been doing jobs and it's an elder lady, white or black, and he called him mom. You know what I'm talking about? I'm like, what's going on? I thought that was normal, especially if you know this woman old enough to be your mama, literally. Niggas look at that as a term of endearment and respect. And you got these old bald-headed, muddy-mouth, maggot hoes talking about why they calling her mama. They should call me mama. Because you ain't no mama, ho. That's why, because you a hoe.
Your homeboys you was close with, you was around them.
Listen, Mother Sharona right here, she was been on this screen and been in the flesh while my actual mother was in the room. And we still call her that. My mama like, what she calling? Why he calling her mama? I'm his mama. Come on, man. Guess what? All y'all call my mama moms. That she's not your mama. Nobody said Miss Rosalind. They said mom. That's what, like, what's wrong with these people? I'm not making this up. Y'all know this. You know what I'm talking about? Like, that's just out of respect. That's just what's wrong with people, man? That's how you know people wicked. They're wicked as hell. Because truth be told, you can't even begin. Now, of course, as a younger woman, of course, you're literally a mother, but you can't be called mother. Scripturally, y'all already know this, until you've raised children to adulthood. You have to raise children to adulthood. If you know this is an elder woman with adult children, it is appropriate to call her. He said, "Who is my mother? Who is my brother?" Like, come on, man. What are we talking about? What's wrong with these people, man? This junk is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I wonder who raised these people. Where are these people from? We need to go back. Nevertheless. But you see that open rebuke is better. What he did with the son, then we read it, he said he put him to an open shame. If he rebuked his son openly, how you going to say you shouldn't be rebuked openly? Did you get that Zechariah 13:5 for me, please, sir? And tell him what, well, you can read the verse, then tell him what, in the house of my friends. Is it 5 or 6?
That's verse 6.
Zechariah 13:6.
And shall say unto him, what are these wounds in your hands? Then he shall answer, with which I was wounded in the house of my friends.
Now tell him what, see, let's see, is it Reah or is it a ha? It's a ha. These are the wounds in the house of love. He said, faithful are the wounds of love. He said, but the kisses of the enemy are deceitful. How did Judas greet the man? With a kiss. And then he had to stand before, he said, wrath is cruel and anger is outrageous. That man had to stand before envy. They coveted what he had. Guess what? That's the same thing Esau was on. That's why the beast moving how he moving, because he coveted what the man, he wished he could be God, but he ain't. You know what I'm talking about? That's what whole niggas do. Man, an envious person is the lowest of the low. It makes no sense for a grown man to be envious of another man. Shalom, Sister Kelly. It makes no sense. Because anything that man can do, you can do. Now, of course, that goes with, little caveats, because, you can rap. It don't mean you're good at it. You know what I'm talking about? But what I mean is why would you envy or want to be? Like, I hate when people, like, if you could trade places with one person, who would it be? Nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see how Shannon Sharp asked Cat Williams that, and he would throw, why would I want to be Jay-Z? Why would I want? Because he got money? I don't want to be this nigga. I don't know this thing. Why would I want to be anyone other than me? If I was going to want to trade places with any, and you can't even say that because you don't want to trade places with Yahushua, because you don't want to go through what Yahushua went through. Because that man say for a righteous man, one wouldn't even dare to die. Because some people, I'll trade places with the Lord. No, you wouldn't. Because you ain't going to want to be disrespected. You ain't going to want to be spit on. You ain't going to want to be beaten. You ain't going to want a crown of thorns put on your head. You ain't going to want your beard snatched out. You ain't going to want people slapping you. And you ain't going to want to be impaled from a tree and die from suffocation on it. And
can't do nothing back to him.
And doing it for rebellious, gainsaying, disobedient people. Actually going contrary to your own self to execute that. So you don't want to trade places with him either. You just talking. You know what I'm talking about?
It always sound good.
It's always sound good when you know you ain't got to do it. And you know how we know you don't want to trade with him? Because you don't want to suffer for him now. And you ain't even resisted sin unto death. So if you don't want to suffer for him now, how would you want to do the literal suffering that he did? And you don't want to suffer in the flesh to cease from sin. Come on, man. You ain't even got to suffer on no tree. All you got to do is deny yourself and stop beating your knee. Stop telling lies. Stop being envious and covetous. Stop disrespecting your parents. Stop worshiping other gods. Get them idols out your heart. Stop being spiteful with the evil eye. Stop being unmerciful, uncompassionate, lacking grace and all the unforgiving. Nasty bastards say even on the lower level, they don't want to be questioned. Don't even want to be questioned or tested by. You see how angry these niggas get when you test them? But then the book say test these men. Let me tell you something real, man. I told you this plenty of time before. Anybody who literally works for Yahuwah will never be offended if you test them. They'll never be offended. They offended for what? You know what I'm saying? You doing what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to test them. Read them 1 John 4:1. You're supposed to test them.
their doctrine being questioned.
Boy, Yahushua wasn't even scared of being tested. When they stepped to him and said, whose authority? He said, you answer me this, I answer you this. He didn't say, who y'all niggas is to ask me these questions? He said, well, shoot, come on with it. You know why? He was secure in his Abba. You testing me ain't no offense to me. I know who I am. He said, I know where I come from and whence I came. He said, but you don't know. He said, I told you where I come from and where I came, and you believe me not. You think I'm finna keep telling you this? But you know what most brews in 2025 think you're supposed to do? Keep telling the nigga. The Lord said, I'm not finna keep telling you. I already told you. He said, I told you before and you believe me not. You hear me not because you're not of my flock as I told you. I'm not finna keep talking to you, man. Y'all steady be talking to the people over and over and over again. What is you talking to this nigga for? If he said he don't believe it, leave the whole nigga alone. Stop focusing on people who don't want what you have and focus on the people who do. How many times have we said that? You can literally read in John 8 when he was preaching to them people and he said, and he began to talk to the Jews that believed on him. He stopped focusing on the people who didn't want it and gave his attention to the people who do. Stop focusing on what you don't like and who don't want what you got and focus on the people who do. Because you're giving all your energy to people who don't love you. Give your energy to the people who do. Then through the people, you giving the energy to the people who do, they can see the love of God through that and they can be drawn to the word from that. And if they ain't drawn, hey, that's God's will. Let it be what it be. You know what I'm talking about? Come on, man. It's the game, man. The game ain't hard. Hold on. He said, reminds me in the mid-90s after Jordan retired and Pippen wanted to be the guy, then he seen how hard it was. Yeah, he definitely did. He definitely did. Come on, man.
Said, beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are of Elohim.
He said, try them whether they are God or not.
Because many false prophets are going out into the world.
A lot of them.
Hereby know you the Ruach of Elohim, every spirit that confesses that Yahushua HaMashiach is coming, the flesh is of Elohim.
Man, they can't confess that unless they believe that from Genesis to Malachi. He that believe on me as the scripture has said. Anybody can say, I believe in Jesus. BJM Sabbath night booty talk. This nigga crazy. That nigga Maddie is ridiculous. Well, that man is not finna let up on these niggas' necks. You know what I'm talking about? And the reason why I say that is because there's two men who are extremely disrespectful. The BJM booty talk, that was George. That was the man who said that you can have sex with a woman over 50. You don't have to be married because y'all not having no kids. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter. You need to get married. Just practice monogamy. He said, you don't understand courtship? Knocking these old women down. So he's messing with him because he said he would kiss another man in the mouth. Now he said that because dude asked him like along the lines of Joab and Amasa. When Joab grabbed Amasa and kissed him on the beard to stab him. And at that time, Sarnetta was on, so I'm trying to catch a nigga saying some gay stuff. So that's what that was. The other dude who he riding on, there's a text message that say, you know, I like men. They say the nigga's a homosexual. I don't know if he's a homosexual, but he's definitely cheesing hard as all outdoors with this white man. You know what I'm saying? He said that was the cable guy, but he didn't have on a cable uniform. So I don't know. Hopefully he don't like hot dogs in his buns. That would be embarrassing. But there's that. So it's just the reality of life. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I say that because I could crack jokes about it, but the reality is I don't know if that man's homosexual or not. Obviously, I wasn't there. He hasn't said he's a homosexual. There's no one who's came out and said, yes, he put his hot dog in my buns or vice versa. So I can't say that he's a homosexual. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I didn't crack too many jokes on him. But the other guy, I cracked a lot of jokes because he acknowledged that he is a dirty whoremonger. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, I must disrespect you at the highest level possible with every ounce of my being. You know what I'm saying? Because, yeah, you claim to be a bishop. So now we're going to put our foot on your neck. Because it's not about me, it's not about you, it's about Yahuwah. And you will not dishonor this man's sacrifice by conducting yourself in an untoward fashion, by proclaiming his name and think that's acceptable. And every last one of you should feel the same way. If you genuinely believe that according to the scripture has said that this man literally suffered wounds in the house of love, and that those wounds that were faithful, those faithful wounds of love that he suffered on your behalf when you were an enemy to God. Remember how the testimony when he told Jehoshaphat, how can you help those that hate Yahuwah? You know what I'm talking about? And then he said, when we were yet enemies, Hamashiach died for the ungodly, knowing that we were contrary to this man and literally his opposition. And he took it and he showed that man a love to lay his life down on your behalf so that you might pick your life up, because he picked his life up by the commandment of his father. And you mean to tell me you're going to be cool and satisfied with men who claim to be representative of him and dishonor his name? That sit well with you? That should not sit well with you. When you know what the chief bishop and shepherd suffered for you to be able to stand and proclaim his name so that you could be made whole, that you could be made clean, that you could be made perfect, that you could have the opportunity to receive the life-giving gift of the Ruach HaKodesh and become a son of the daughter of the living Elohim and be a part of the Toledeth of Shamayim, that your name be written in the book of life. And you mean to tell me you cool with nigga dishonoring your family name? Anybody who named the name of Yahushua, man, that's the family name, man. That's the family name. You're not supposed to be cool with nobody bringing dishonor to the family name. That's why we're supposed to keep each other in check and in line and exhort one. That's why the text say all that there, man. Because it's about, but see, we don't look at it like that. That, yo, this the family name, man. We don't want to bring no shame and honor to the family. See, we don't live in that type of society no more. You know what I mean? So it hit different. I've made my point in Ezekiel 28. I need to go no further. Go back to Romans 16 and 17. I'll finish that. I'll go back to Revelation 19. I'll swing it back to Ecclesiastes 9. That is exactly correct, Joseph. But again, we just dealing with, remember, bind up the testimony. It's sufferings. And notice how we look faithfully, because we could go deeper into all of these things. It'd be so many things that come up that we could just branch off. We could be here all night. You know what I'm saying? But it's for you to understand, for that testimony, for you to get that testimony, that confirmation, you're going to have to suffer. Before you do that, read me 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 11 again. And as a matter of fact, after that, go to Romans 8.
Say a faithful saying, for if we be dead with, we shall also live with.
It's a faithful saying. If you die with him, you'll what?
Live with.
If you can die to your flesh, if you could die to the world, if you could die to sin, you can live with God.
If we suffer, we shall also reign with.
If you suffer, you're what?
Reign with.
If you suffer, you're what?
Reign with.
Talk to him.
If we deny, he will deny us.
Come on, talk to
If we
him.
believe not, he abide faithful. He cannot deny himself.
He can't deny himself, baby.
Of these things put in remembrance.
That's in remembrance.
Charging before the Lord that they strive not about words to no profit.
Stop arguing about words that don't benefit nobody.
Subverting of the hearers.
That's good. Romans 8 and 14. I got to get off here. That junk kicking in again, boo. It's kicking in. Nah, man, it might be some vegetables.
That's what I said.
Well, no, I got to take it now. They say you don't want to take too much in a 24-hour period.
You say, for as many as are led by the Ruach of Elohim,
They are the
sons of Elohim.
What else?
For you have not received the spirit of bondage again to fear, but you have received the Ruach of adoption. Whereby
Cry what?
Abba.
Come on.
The Ruach itself bear witness with our spirit that we are the children of Elohim.
Talk to him.
And if children, then heirs.
Heirs.
Of Elohim, joint heirs with Hamashiach.
If.
So be that we suffer with.
If you what?
Suffer with.
If you what?
Suffer with.
Talk to him.
That we may also be also esteemed together.
How you go? If he was esteemed in sufferings, how you not gonna suffer with him? If you talking about bind up the test, if you're gonna be his disciple, that testimony got to be bound up. For that testimony to be bound up, you got to experience the sufferings. Come on with it, blood.
For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time not worthy with the esteem which shall be revealed in us.
It's not worth the esteem you're going to get, the sufferings you're going through at this present time don't even equal. Come on.
For the earnest expectation of the creature wait for the manifestation of the sons of Elohim. For the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but
That's
by
good.
reason of him.
Revelation 19:7.
Let us be glad and rejoice and give honor to him, for the marriage of the Lamb is come, and his wife hath made herself ready. And to her was granted that she should be arrayed in fine linen, clean and white.
Fine linen, clean and white, which is the what?
Righteousness of saints.
What else?
He said unto me, Right, Baruch the they which are called unto the marriage supper of the Lamb. And he said unto me, These are the true sayings of Elohim. And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, See not, I am your fellow servant and of your brethren that have the testimony of Yahushua.
Worship.
Elohim, for the testimony of Yahushua is the Ruach of prophecy.
It's the Ruach of prophecy. Ecclesiastes 9:7. I don't think and then we'll go back to Romans 16:17, finish that on our call of the evening.
Say, go your way, eat your bread with joy.
Go your way, eat your what?
Bread with joy.
And that's the bread of affliction. We'll come back and revisit that on tomorrow. Y'all remember that bread and water of affliction, don't you? Micaiah, you recall? Talk to him.
And drink your wine with a merry heart.
Drink your what?
Wine with a merry heart.
I know what that wine is. And let your garments.
For Elohim now accept your works.
He said he's going to accept your works when you eat that bread and you drink that wine. That sounds familiar, now don't it? And he said every time you do that, you show his death till you come. You show his affliction. You show his sufferings. Continue.
Let your garments be always white.
That's what he said. That's that fine linen, clean and white, which is the what? Righteousness of the saints. And Jude told you that don't even want the garment stained with the flesh. Come on with it, man.
And let your head lack no ointment.
Always had a ruach with your baby. Romans 16:17 one more time for the road. We'll finish all the way out to 26.
Now I beseech you, brethren, mark them which cause divisions and
Mark
offenses.
them which cause divisions and offenses, and do what?
Contrary to the doctrine which you have learned.
And do what? Avoid them. Stay away. Go ahead.
For they that are such serve not our Lord Yahushua.
They don't serve the Lord. They serve what?
Belly.
They serve they lust.
And by good words and fair speeches.
By good words and fair speeches, they deceive the hearts of the simple.
For your obedience is come abroad unto all. I'm glad, therefore, on your behalf, but yet I would have you wise unto that which is good.
Have that wise, which is that of the good, but simple.
Concerning evil.
Come on.
Now Elohim Shalom shall bruise Hashatan under your feet.
He's going to bruise them under your feet shortly. And what we read about what happened to Balaam's foot, he got what? Bruised, didn't it?
The grace of our Lord Yahushua HaMashiach with you. Amen. Timotheus, my work fellow, and Lucius and Jason. And so Sosipater, my kinsman, salute you. I, Tertius, who wrote this epistle, salute you in the Lord. Gaius, my host, and of the whole assembly, salute you. Erastus, the chamberlain of the city, salute you. And Quartus, a brother. The grace of our Lord Yahushua HaMashiach.
Grace of our Lord Yahushua HaMashiach be with you.
Now to him that is of power to establish you according to my gospel.
To my gospel.
And the preaching of Yahushua HaMashiach.
The preaching of the Lord.
To the revelation of the mystery.
To the revelation of the what?
Mystery.
To the revelation of the what?
Mystery.
Ain't it what it said? He know all the secrets. That's what it said about the king of Tyre then, but you thought that was the devil.
Which was kept secret since the world began.
But it's now made manifest.
And by the scriptures of the prophets.
By the scriptures of the who?
Prophets.
See how to take us back to what we were looking at, Peter, and how you bind up that testimony? That's where it get revealed at. Come on.
According to the commandment of the everlasting Elohim.
To the obedience, righteous obedience.
Made known to all nations for the obedience of faith.
All praise and esteem to Abba and Shamaim in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. I pray y'all understood all these things. Again, we'll be back on it, but that's, again, we will focus, again, more on the affliction part, because that's what that bind. When we get, I'm going to be honest with you, I think y'all know what the seal of the law in my disciples, that's the Ruach. But notice the bind the testimony is first, and then the Ruach. You know what I'm saying? Now, you don't necessarily suffer before you get the Ruach per se. You know what I'm talking about? But you understand what I'm talking about. So, I appreciate y'all. I bless y'all at the house of Elohim in the name of Yahushua. Love y'all. I got to sit down and get these feast days out. They'll be put on the community tab on the channel and then all the other applicable places. So, yeah, there's that. So, again, perfectly understood all these things. Again, I appreciate y'all. Bless y'all at the house of Elohim in the name of Yahushua. Yahuwah willing, we'll be back at it on tomorrow. Until that time.